Dave Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
What's up, Marty, is we have some traffic stoppages of up to 15 minutes at a time in a single alternating lane of traffic pattern greeting you between 1 and 4 today. This is on Commercial Street, where it goes under the Parkway East 376 in Frick Park. The road and the adjacent 9-mile run bike and pedestrian trail will be relocated about 150 feet west of the Commercial Street Bridge that carries the Parkway East into the Squirrel Hill tunnels. This configuration will be in place for you through the summer of 2026, all part of the massive Commercial Street Bridge replacement project that runs through the summer of 2027. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Breezy and very warm this afternoon. We'll have sun and some clouds with a record-breaking high of 81. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, mild with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
As a mom of 3, I'm responsible for big decisions impacting my family. Last year, we needed to replace a few appliances. Imagine my surprise when I learned that some places are banning gas stoves. Now, new government auto mandates mean we could pay thousands more for our next vehicle. We need more energy and more choices, not fewer. Learn more at energycitizens.org.
Paid for by the American Petroleum Institute.
It's the Big K Big 3.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I don't mind the pep rally rhetoric. I just don't. I don't mind the Trump rhetoric at the pep rallies. I just don't. I don't mind the wall stuff. I just don't. I don't mind the rhetoric. I don't mind the chants at the rallies. It's just the thing, man. It's kind of part of the deal. I mean, it's where we're at. People get jazzed up. Trump kind of inspires crowds. Whether you want to know this or hear this or not, it's the truth. I mean, he moves people. I mean, if you were in Butler and saw that, if you even saw the video, and if you've been to any of his rallies, it's intense. It's kind of a vibe. It's and I know people don't want to hear this about him, but it's that it gives you chills kind of thing. It has that rock star thing to it, and people yell and scream, and sometimes what they say is inappropriate or what you think is inappropriate, and I understand that completely. However, when that rhetoric spills out onto the streets and into homes on both sides, I've seen insane Democrats screaming at Republicans about a sign with Donald Trump's name on it. I find that to be repulsive and ignorant and sophomoric and criminal to a degree because it's threatening and harassment. I see Republicans going after Democrats, calling them stupid and low IQ and lazy, and I just can't deal with that. And what you're doing is you're setting examples for your kids who think that that's okay to do at school to other kids, and then they become bullies. When adults are bullies, their kids are generally bullies. And I'm sorry, man, but when you're yelling at a woman about her political views or a sign in her yard, you're a bully. You're a jackass. You should be punished somehow. I don't know how you do that. I wish there was a big hook that would swoop down, grab you by the neck, and dump you into a mound of detriment, manure. I mean this. I just don't think it's proper, man. I don't care. My boy Jay, we're going to talk to at the bottom of the hour. My boy Jay, I love this guy. He has, 100 Trump signs. He has a Kamala, full-size Kamala Harris platform with a Satan outfit on. Okay. He has a fence, border fence. Okay. You might find it offensive. I don't. I think it's kind of him, kind of charming. And if you hate it, so what? Go home. Watch SpongeBob, man. Challenge yourself. And that's why when Denise sent me this message yesterday, it scared the hell out of me, and it actually made me angry because of what I just talked about. Denise, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Marty. I'm good.
You kind of got scared yesterday. I mean, I would describe that as fear, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, last night, every noise I heard, I kept looking out my door.
Right.
I mean, this was a neighbor.
My God. Tell her, and this is why I'm all worked up this morning about this stuff. Tell our listeners what happened to you. This is obnoxious.
I invited my friend and her daughter after work to dinner. She parked in front of my house, and this girl, probably in her late 20s, walking her dog, says, "Do you live there?" And she said, "No, it's my friend." And then it started. He's a not a homophobe, pedophile, and she just went on and on and on to the point where it was F-U, C-word. I mean, every word, the filthy word you could think of.
Why?
Because I had a Trump sign in front of my house.
That's it.
And Marty, across the street from me, my two neighbors, the one, they have a Harris Waltz sign. So what?
What the hell's happened to us?
I was so angry.
Well, why wouldn't you be? You want to choke them.
Running out. I wanted to see. I thought maybe her daughter fell, or I mean, I heard this screaming, and my friend was hilarious. She goes, "I love them,"
Yeah, well, sure. Why not?
So what, Marty? I don't agree with everything that you say.
Right. Why would you? My mother did.
You're allowed.
Yeah.
I'm allowed. Isn't this a free country? I mean, I have this little sign in my yard. And when I put it up, it was the second time they tried to kill him. I thought, this is crazy. If you don't like it, I drive around everywhere. There's Harris Waltz signs. I don't want to, drive through their lawn and run it over.
Right. But people were doing that.
It's sickening.
It is. Who raised these people?
I'm 66. She's 72. I don't remember this ever in my lifetime.
I do, but not to this level.
No, come on.
And how did
you're my age.
How did this die down?
And does she think that's going to change my mind?
No. You want to choke her.
Oh, you don't know what I want to do. But I thought, no, you're going to stoop to her level.
Well, how did it end, though?
She just kept walking.
And now she's your neighbor?
Well, she turned on this one street that's not far from me, so I know she lives back in there somewhere.
So this is where we're at now?
Yeah.
You can't even put up a damn sign.
I mean, I was afraid all night.
Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be?
Put a brick through my car.
Right on.
I appreciate your time.
No, I love your story, and I love your honesty, and I love the emotion of it, and this is where we're at in America.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And here's what troubles me about the far left. They present themselves, and look, I'm neither far left or far right, as you know. They present themselves as like they're Gandhi. They do, and here we are.
I wish I could have recorded her. Well, peace, love, that's
Let's just hug it out, woman. Denise, I love you. If it happens again, though, you got to text me or send me a message instantly, all right?
Thank you so much,
right,
Marty.
This is where we're at. Is this as good as it gets? I can't tell you that it is. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'm with you. No problem with yard signs. Hey, it's part of the whole electoral process.
It sure
what
is,
I do
brother.
have a problem with is the foul signs.
Oh, you mean
yesterday?
like
I almost
the hateful? Yeah.
Yeah, like you missed me, and then bitches.
No, I get it. But let me say this about that. It's actually a great phone call, and it's really valid. So there's this house here in the North Hills, and it's covered in vulgarities like you can't believe. And I mean, my man, vulgar. And the kids walk by, and the buses go by. And this guy wanted me to help him with something, and I said, I'll help you if you take those signs down. He said, F you, and he refused. And by
Good for
way,
you, Marty.
He's protected by law.
Okay, so I am a retired teacher.
Yeah.
I now drive school vehicles for children.
Yeah.
And we're driving by and said, "Did you see that sign?"
Yes, the kids see
Yes,
this.
I saw it.
Yep.
That's not nice.
No.
I know.
No.
And my attitude has always been this. In school, if you don't show disdain for having used a bad word, they're going to think it's okay.
That's true.
When they drive by a house and they see all this filth, they're going to think that's okay.
They are.
And they actually, well, my dad likes Trump,
Right.
and he says that word's okay.
It's true.
No, it's not okay.
It's true. You're right.
And until we start showing our disdain
You're right.
and disapproval,
Right on.
put your signs up, but not those signs.
No, I agree. What a great phone call. Common sense from a guy who actually cares. We're going to take this step one further. They're coming after politicians now. And I mean, defacing their signs and ripping them up. And these are grown men in trucks. And what are they doing? You got to hear this story after the break. It's ridiculous. From the TJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
What's up is some slow traffic on the Parkway West, not on the inbound side, on the outbound side. We've had an earlier accident, Marty, between the top of Green Tree Hill and the Carnegie Interchange. It is long gone, but the delays remain for you. You should try to head out toward the airport that way this morning, so do leave extra time there. It won't cost you too much time right now on the inbound ride, maybe heading toward town on the Parkway West. You're in line right at the Banksville on-ramp as you head for those Fort Pitt tunnels. Behind the Parkway East and 376's drive toward the Squirrel Hill tunnels, you're lining up right around Edgewood Swissvale there. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Peter, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get Marty, brought to you by the law firm of Rosen and Perry. No slogans or gimmicks, just results.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
2D Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders, is a family business that I truly admire. 2D culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. 2D Mechanical Systems, they're the people you want working in your home.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Now, to honor the spirit of this week, we spoke with Army veteran Glenn Phillips, who told us about buying a 100-year-old home where he was never alone.
I laid the book down, and I looked, and there was two black, look like smoky they looked like real small humans, about 3.5 foot tall, but I could, they were translucent, and I could see through them. And one's on one side of the door, one's on the other, and they were looking at the bedroom. I wear contacts, so I blinked my eyes real hard, and opened up my eyes. They were still there.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I find it offensive and criminal. And I'm always floored when I see every single election cycle these idiots, and I mean that in the nicest way. You're an idiot. If you're a grown-ass man, because I think mostly men do this idiotic stuff. I know that's sexist, but men are dumb. Women just think, I think. But based on that last caller and some of the videos we posted, they've lost their minds, too, over this political insanity. Someone that would get in a truck and drive around and drive over political signs or cut them up or destroy them. To what end, man? What the hell are you accomplishing? I want all of those people caught. I really have said this in the past for folks who litter, like throw cigarette butts out the window in their McDonald's bags. I wish some way, by the force of nature, I could lift all that trash up and dump it in their bed while they're sleeping. I just do. And people that cut up signs, same thing. Dump them in a big mound of cow manure, because I think it's crap when you do this. Try to intimidate politicians. And a guy that I really like and someone you really can't intimidate would be a Marine for life, and that would be Devlin Robinson, whose brother is a badass cop. And I find this sort of desecration of property to be inhuman, quite frankly. Devlin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. How are you?
This campaign, because I've been around a while, brother, it's hit a new level of ugliness, don't you think, Devlin?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
Why is that? I mean, what's your take on this, man? Huh?
Well, it's the old-time intimidation tactics, The process of lying about your opponent really doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
The process of trying to degrade their past and what they've done in their political career doesn't seem to be working. So, now we're going to go and start desecrating their property.
Yeah, you sent me a bunch of.
Tell you that's not going to work.
You sent me a bunch of stuff, and I've heard from other people that there are people out literally tearing up your signs, going out of their way to cut up your signs. What the hell's that about, do you think?
It just shows the desperation of my opponent's campaign. Like I said, all that money is being spent. They're not able to move the needle. They're not able to sway voters away from me. And so therefore they've got to act out in some other way. And this is what they've decided to do.
Do you think, Devlin, that this is the order of the woman running against you, that she's telling people go out and destroy his signs? Do you believe that?
Well, I could just tell you that it's happening all over the district.
Wow.
That was just the most obvious circumstance that happened. There was, even at the South Fayette Stadium, there's been a gentleman constantly trying to cover up a sponsor sign that I to a soccer team. I donate to all the sports teams. Anybody who usually asks for a donation in my district, I'm happy to give it. They constantly cover them up. They've put.
What do you mean? Hold on. So this one guy who hates you goes out of his way to try to cover your signs. What the hell?
Just on them, put clips around the blankets.
What?
Reported me to the athletic director.
A grown man.
A grown man. Yep.
Where the hell do these people come from, Devlin? It's disgraceful, man. It's shameful.
Yeah. We have another person claiming that there's a piece of property that belongs to her. This is she showed up, said it's her property. Take the sign down. We had to go and research the deed. We had to ask and the owner said, I'll call the police. It's my property. Here's the deed. So, it's 5 days. Like I said, it is.
So hold on. So she fabricated this thing. She lied about you and said, I own this property. Get your damn sign out of here. But she lied.
Correct. And was waiting by the property.
Waiting.
To put it back up.
Waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, these are grown people. These aren't derelict teenage boys who are getting $20 from some idiot to do this. These are adults, right?
Right.
And they have such great disdain for you or the Republican Party, or what is it?
Yeah, I would just say that, watch TV.
Yeah.
Every commercial is a political, and all this money is being funneled in from the tech and entertainment industry from California.
It is.
And they don't have to deal with the repercussions of their actions.
They don't.
So, they're going to let us deal with the civil unrest that's gonna follow.
Damn. The money's insane. And Devlin Robinson, Senate District 37, has had an impeccable career, works his ass off, a Marine. As I said, I love his brother. He's a sergeant, one of the most highly regarded cops in Pittsburgh. At some points, Devlin, when people are out there trying to destroy your name and your property and your political signs, you think, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore, it's not worth it. You ever do that?
No.
No.
You can't let them win.
No, you
Absolutely not.
Kind of vile, brother. Hey, how much money is being spent on your campaign? Total, both sides.
This is both sides. It's going to be a $10 million campaign.
And what was the highest ever before this? A million?
I'm not sure. I know that this is the highest ever in Pittsburgh, in the western Pennsylvania region.
It's kind of shameful.
I don't know what would happen.
It's kind of shameful. Isn't it kind of shameful?
Oh, absolutely. And Marty, the financial reports are now public, and some of the donors to my opponent's campaign are David Mandel, who's the showrunner for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wow.
And another one is Felicity Huffman, who was the face of the Varsity Blues college admission scandal.
Yeah, she went to jail.
So
she went to jail.
That's not the first time that she used her checkbook and shouldn't have.
Wow, the movie stars are after you, man. That means you're making waves, brother.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
That means you're successful. That's right.
Good for you. Keep kicking ass, man. I love what you do, and I love your passion. And let me know if anything changes, all right?
Thanks, Marty.
All right. Devlin Robinson. Man. So somehow movie stars in Hollywood are writing checks to jack with Devlin Robinson in Western Pennsylvania. What the hell is going on here?
Real quick, raise your hand if you want to lose an additional 4 bands a year. Go ahead and put your hands up. Put your hands up. You voted for Kamala Harris. Oh, okay. My fault. Good, because I don't think people understand that voting for Trump means you will lose an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. If Trump is elected, he plans to add a 60% tariff on all imports from China. Anything in your house that says made in China, take the price that you paid for and add 60%. He plans to add a 20% tariff on all imports coming from every other country. With Kamala Harris's opportunity economy, she's not hitting you with the sales tax of doom. She's providing tax cuts to the middle and working class, so that means you will save an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Plus the $25,000 she's literally handing to new homebuyers. Like, you know who to vote for in this November's election. It's Kamala Harris. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Need a spark? For $49, Galease Services will replace 5 outlets or switches. Call 412-831-6199. Excludes certain panels. Grounding required. One-time use per home. Not valid with other offers. PA 10887.
Call Galease. At Penn West University, we're making college make sense again for people who maybe thought college wasn't the answer. We're making college practical with programs tied to in-demand jobs that prepare you for success right away. We're making college accessible by breaking down barriers and offering more choices. We're making college approachable with faculty who understand where you're coming from and help you get where you're going. At Penn West, we're making college valuable again for people just like you. Learn more at pennwest.edu.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 70 with cloudy skies at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. A 24-year-old man was wounded in a shooting last night in Munhall. 911 was notified a few minutes before 9 p.m. of that shooting in the 1200 block of McClure Street. Police say the man had a non-life-threatening wound and was in stable condition. Officers found multiple shell casings at the scene. Washington County is preparing for the November 5th election with the help of 20 armed security guards. With details on that, here's News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
Nick Sherman, chairman of the Washington County Board of Elections, said the board met on Monday to discuss stepping up security. The board voted to hire armed security guards to help keep voters and their votes safe. Mr. Sherman says there's not enough constables across the county to cover the 180 precincts in Washington County. Currently, there are 50 elected constables. The 20 armed guards are from RIP Security and will cost the county $18,000. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Rain showers are in tonight's forecast, but AccuWeather's Heather Zare says that should start well after the trick-or-treating is over.
I don't think it's going to be a lot of rain. I wish I could say it was going to be more because we still at this point really could use more in the way of rain. But I suspect most places get less than a quarter of an inch of rain. At least it is something.
Heather is expecting the showers to start around 9 tonight. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 300 points at 41,840. The Nasdaq is down 373, and the S&P is down 76. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
So I have taken family and friends personally to the offices of John Perry at Rosen and Perry. Why? Well, with medical malpractice cases, they have doctors on staff to answer your questions. They have some of the biggest, this is a fact, settlements in the history of this region. Fact. They care, man. They care big time. John Perry at Rosen and Perry, one of the best attorneys in America. 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Rosen and Perry.
Care provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Ooh, should we get an app?
Appetizer? Nah, not for me. Trying to save some money, you know?
You know what you need? The Upside app. Gives you cash back on essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. You could earn up to $10 on every restaurant meal.
Upside? What's the catch?
No catch. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back at places like Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Arby's.
Okay, now that's the app I'm getting.
Download the Upside app and get a 10% bonus on your first restaurant purchase. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
He stepped up to serve his country, deployed to Iraq. Now Chris DeLuzio is fighting for Western PA families in Congress.
I'm Mike Solanowski, president of FOP Lodge 91. Chris has had the back of local law enforcement. It's why we gave him our endorsement. Chris is a real one. He's protected Western PA families, and he's the right man for the job.
I'm Chris DeLuzio, and I approve this message. I joined the Navy after 9/11 to protect our freedom. Now it's what I fight for every day in Congress. Freedom from greedy corporations that raise costs and price gouge working families, and freedom from extremists trying to cut Social Security and Medicare and attacking our fundamental rights. I'm fighting the big corporations to lower costs and get families relief, and I'll always protect Social Security and Medicare. Because the freedom I defended is about helping our families achieve the American dream.
Chris DeLuzio for Congress. Endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police. Paid for by Chris DeLuzio for Congress.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Eleanor, what's up?
All right. Well, we have the heavy traffic for you in just a few minor spots, Marty, as folks are heading out and about for the late morning commute. Inbound on the Parkway West, for example, all accidents and earlier traffic troubles out of your way. You're just backing up right around that Banksville on-ramp as you fit into the Fort Pitt tunnels. The outbound ride through the tunnels toward Pittsburgh International Airport is a decent drive at this point. Parkway East inbound, just a minor touch on the brakes between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. And a reminder for you, kicking off today, a single lane of traffic pattern and shoulder restrictions will happen as needed on 51 in West Mifflin, Baldwin Borough, Pleasant Hills, and Jefferson Hills boroughs. In both directions on 51 between Cole Valley Road and Lebanon Church Road. Crews out there 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays through late November. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will bring sun and some clouds. It'll be breezy and very warm with a record-breaking high of 81. Still dry this evening, but mild overnight with clouds and a shower or two, low 51. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? Now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, Halloween is here. I'll be dressing up as a radio host, and you can hear me from 2 to 6 today, right here on KDKA. Colin Dunlap.
The Devlin Robbins stuff is intriguing. We have kind of cannibalized the donation process for these campaigns. His opponent has 20 people from California donating to the campaign to try to beat Devlin Robinson, little state senator from Western Pennsylvania, Republican. That's just bizarre to me. It's kind of where we're at in America. And how significant this chunk of the world is. Turns out it may not be the Rust Belt, huh? It's fascinating. All right, so what I'm kind of blown away by is the name calling has now, no, you're fat. No, you're fat. No, you're fat. No, you're fat. I can't believe you called me fat. I can't believe you called me fat. This is where we're at. Presidential candidates calling each other fat. It's a metaphor, folks. It's all turned to garbage. Listen, the garbage routine kind of sort of started with, what's his name? Joe Biden, who used to be the president. Listen to this.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of things is unconscionable.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
So Trump pulls up in a garbage truck yesterday. And then, is there more to that? Yeah? No. So play that again. So then Trump pulls up in a garbage truck yesterday. Ha, get it?
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Right, so then all day long he talked about how deplorable this is and hateful the use of the word garbage in campaigning. So then here's this montage of all things Trump using the word garbage. Listen.
And it's not her. It's the people that surround her. They're scum. They're scum. And they want to take down our country. They are Absolute garbage. A total piece of garbage. 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 Talking about garbage. 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 Talking about garbage.
I'd love to be nice, but I'm dealing against real garbage.
Garbage. Garbage. Garbage. Garbage. Can I use the word garbage? Garbage. Garbage.
She's a scum. She's garbage.
This scum. This garbage. Pile of garbage. First time I've ever said garbage. A garbage can. We're like a garbage can. Garbage can. Garbage can for the rest of the world. We're a garbage can. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Fascinating. So, what's my point? That they all do it and they all sling garbage. What amazes me is the ignorant rhetoric on both sides. This notion that because Joe Biden, who, by the way, it's shameful how horribly he's struggling right now. It's really kind of sad and a bit scary because, you know, he's still supposed to be the president. Seriously. Man. So, and then Trump says that this is disgusting and violence. They're horrible people, and then he uses the word garbage 600 times. What I find annoying about it is stuck in the middle are regular folks just trying to pick a damn candidate. One of the people that has risen above this that I've actually find to be quite charming in his animus, his anger toward Democrats, is my man Jay, because he does it with flair. Brother Jay, how are you?
What up, Marty?
You know what you are, man?
What's
Garbage.
that?
You're garbage, yeah, you're garbage.
Oh, I got the best one in the world for you, Marty. Like, this is the most epic thing you're going to hear all day.
All right, give it to me.
So, this morning is our garbage day.
Right.
Right?
Right.
7 o'clock in the morning, garbage truck comes down, picks up the garbage, he's leaving on out, and guess what he does?
What?
He catches the Trump flag and drives up the road with the Trump flag on the garbage truck.
No. Hold on.
I swear to you,
So
it flew all through the township on the garbage truck.
You got
can't
that.
make this up.
You got that illegal banner across your...
They got my legal banner now, the garbage truck.
You're kidding.
No, it's I got my neighbor that has it on camera, too, because I didn't catch it in time, but they got it on camera passing by with the flag flying on the truck.
I need that. I need that. You need to send that to me.
I'm going to get it to you. I know you need that. It just couldn't be better timing, right?
So, tell folks where you live.
Reserve Township, Pittsburgh, right between like North Side and Ross Township and Shaler area.
And so he's a big Trumper. And we initially became friends when he put a sign across the street illegally, a Trump sign, right? It's illegal.
Right, correct.
So you took it down.
After I got threatened.
Threatened. And then you put it back up.
I put it back up.
And now your yard has turned into what someone described as a garbage pit of Trump signs or a pleasure palace of Trump signs or a worship site, right?
Yeah, it could be, deciphered as many things, but yeah.
We went up there the other day. I love him, by the way. He's charming. He's kind. He works his ass off, but he does certain things to irritate his neighbors. For instance, you put big speakers in the grill of your truck, right?
Yes.
And you pulled up in front of a neighbor's house that hates Trump, right?
Yes. The one that kind of hates me, yes.
Right. And you faced her house, and you blared the song, the God Bless, what is it, Proud to be an American, Lee Greenwood thing.
No. It was one of the Trump songs. It was a rap Trump song, and then then after that, I played your show out loud and let them all hear it. And believe me when I tell you, it's like a loudspeaker. It screams. So
it screams.
Like I told you, she come out the door, put her hands on her ears, and then turned around and slammed the door.
Slammed it.
Slammed it. So then I pulled off.
So you want to irritate? You want to irritate these people?
I left it alone, Marty. Like I told you, I left it alone, and I tried to be nice and try to make amends. And then after all the townships called from the same person, there was a rep coming around my area, and they were repping for Harris, and she was outside on her front talking, and I was working on my wife's car, and she looks up at me and says, "Well, there's one of the Trump people right there," and they look at me, and she starts smiling. So Okay, well, you want to keep going, so let's keep. So then I had to go. Like you said, poke the bear. Well, I poked the bear. I poked it really hard.
It's a love fest.
And like yesterday, even on an interview, you've seen it. At point now, people coming down the street. Here comes the husband, and he was looking so hard, he almost wrecked into the back of the car.
He did. You almost caused an accident.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's big time. Big time.
I love you, man. Are you gonna take all that crap? I mean, homage to Trump stuff down after the election?
No, it looks good. And yes, I will. I definitely will. I'll bring some down to you. You can keep the air sign, okay?
We want the goat in our neighborhood for a couple of days.
Yeah, you can definitely have her for a couple of days. She'll follow you around. She likes you.
Coconut.
Coconut. Not the goat, the sheep.
She's Coco, and you're the nut.
I am the nut. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Man, I love you. I admire you. I respect you. You're a kind guy. The very people that hate you, you cut their lawn for free for years. Is that not true?
Yes. No, you're 100% right. Yep.
And so this is where we're at in America. I'm looking forward to
the hatred, and that's where I think you and I are both identical. Is like it's so hard to understand the hatred because on both sides, and then calling names and all this. This is not the way we was built to, speak, to act, and especially on public TV, the Republican or Democrat. How do you speak like this? Why don't you even write about this?
And hold on.
What about the people? Let's talk shit. Let's just call each other fat.
Your own cousin. What did he say when you asked him if he liked me?
Oh my God! You've seen his little post. He called me up right there after. It's like, well, I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to call him scum. I was like, well, he really got under your skin, didn't he? Cuz he said, oh, you were talking. I said, you don't know this man. Like, have you? Like, and he don't want to hear that.
Tell him to have another gummy, man, and put on SpongeBob. All right.
Yeah, right.
You're my man, Jay. Thanks, brother. Send me that video. Send me that video.
I'm gonna send it to you. That's definitely coming your way.
All right, my man. Peace.
All right. I'll see you.
Love them. Love them. So the illegal signs across the street that says Trump, it's up there hanging between all over the street. It's illegal. Garbage truck is real tall, grabs it, accidentally tears it down, is now riding around the township with a Trump sign on it. Garbage truck. Get it? From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, we have the Parkway East inbound just slowing on the Commercial Street Bridge as you head into those Squirrel Hill tunnels. So just before the inbound tunnel portal. And because of that massive project that is coming in the next few years for the Commercial Street Bridge, we're going to have some traffic stoppages of up to 15 minutes at a time and a single alternating lane of traffic pattern for you today between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. on Commercial Street, where it goes under the Parkway East. In Frick Park, the road and the adjacent 9-mile run bike and pedestrian trail will be relocated about 150 feet west of the Commercial Street Bridge that carries the Parkway East into the Squirrel Hill tunnels. It's all prep work for that massive project that's coming over the next couple of years. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
27 years in politics has changed Bob Casey. He's just not the same anymore. In Washington, Bob Casey voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports. And Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations against their beliefs. Letting men compete against our daughters? Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes? It's just not normal. But that's how liberal Casey is these days. Casey also voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits, too. Casey even voted for a bill that could raise out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors. Higher taxes on Social Security? Raising drug costs for seniors? Come on, Casey. It's just not right. Bob Casey's gone way too liberal for Pennsylvania. After 27 years, we need a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office.
But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
Pennsylvania Voter Information Hotline. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm calling about these negative ads.
Which ones are you referring to?
The one accusing Bob Casey of wanting to make schools let men play in women's sports?
That's been fact-checked. It's not true. Bob Casey is against men playing in women's sports.
And the ad also says he wants to raise taxes on Social Security.
Well, Casey is chairman of the Senate Aging Committee. Actually, he's on record for lowering taxes on Social Security.
Boy, they really twist things, don't they? Well, what about McCormick on Social Security?
Well, McCormick has promised a large tax break for the top 1%. And our research shows you'd have to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid for nursing homes to pay for it.
I guess I'm not voting for the guy from Connecticut.
That's up to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good day.
I'm Bob Casey, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bob Casey for Senate.
Hi, Paul Alexander for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, November is Veterans Month, the time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty veterans and their spouses by offering 15% off their entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is all about you. Celebrate Veterans Month with 15% off your Awaken 180 program, and as with all clients, receive free support for life. Do what I did and over 23,000 others have done. Take control with Awaken180weightloss.com.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BROOKS91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Stephen from North Carolina asks, our current advisor charges 1.45% of the assets under management for an account that's worth about $450,000. Is this fee too high? If we're just talking about asset management, then probably yes, it's high because you can easily find asset management at a lot of different places where you'll pay a fraction of that amount. But if this advisor is actually providing full-blown financial planning for you and helping you in other areas of your financial life, then perhaps it is worth it.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
like it. Money for nothing and your checks for free. Man, I take on a lot of people in power for decades and have had tremendous results thanks to you, honestly. You push the platform. I have never, ever in my life jacked with a neighbor. Ever. About anything. Ever. Just don't do it. My next door neighbor is a brilliant doctor. When my parents were dying, he got the Griffin family through it, and now he's my physician. When I had cancer, he sat down with me to get me through like the low points, because you get low. And guy across the street, really conservative. Love him. Love him. Woman, oh, there he is. Woman next door has Trump wife. Good for her, man. Man, life's too short, man. Play hard. I was asking Patrick this. Like, what the hell provokes an old lady to scream and yell slurs, using the C word and F-bombs? And when you reach that point in your life, man, when you're ready to kick someone's ass over a Trump sign, man, you gotta seek out one of two things: Jesus or a counselor, man. Because you need help. I mean, man, when you get in a truck, grown-ass man, and you drive around tearing signs out of the road, man, you need Jesus, man. You need something, man. You need sex. You need a good woman, a bad woman. You need something. Because you're a jagoff, by definition. And you're a criminal. And I don't know how you think that's okay. Chuck, go ahead.
Hey, Marty. Good morning. I need your help, and I've given this a lot of thought.
Uh-oh.
We need to have a movement, and I took down my political sign that I had in the front of my house.
Why? Why?
And put up my U.S. flag.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Because we're all Americans, and no matter who gets elected, as you would say, Monday turns into Tuesday.
It does day.
We all need to remember we are in this together. And we have a con system in our government, the three-system government. And we need to pull back together again as Americans. And I'm asking people to fly their flags.
Nice, man.
Red, white, and blue.
Hold on, let me... Hey, Ryan, put him on hold and get his phone number. I want to go up to his house and shoot a video. We're going to grab your number, all right, Chuck? All right. All right, when we come back, we got the man himself, Larry. They just call him Larry, or Chief, or Ref. Hey, Ref, get over here, Ref. Oh, he's the police chief of Pittsburgh. You got to hear from Larry. It's going to be cool.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
I have a friend that owns several businesses. This is a true story. His name's Michael. Sends me a text last week from Oakmont Bakery. Now, again, he owns 7 businesses. He said never seen anything like it. The service, the product, the quality, the kindness. One of our friends left here, Samantha, my producer. They made her a beautiful cake Friday. Gorgeous cake. Oakmont Bakery is special. Unique. Run by an amazing family. Oakmont Bakery. Ladies.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's cloudy and 73 at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The Innamorato administration defended again a proposed property tax hike during last night's budget hearing, and News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has more.
Allegheny County leaders are doubling down on the need for a 46% tax increase, the first proposed increase in 12 years. Executive Sarah Innamorato challenged County Council to work with her on identifying places to cut from the budget if they weren't willing to support a tax hike. County Manager John Fournier told Council without the increased tax revenue, the county will have to cut $250 million from the budget.
Every single program that members of the public showed up to speak in favor of tonight would be considered for deep cuts, if not complete elimination.
10 of the County Council's 15 members would need to vote yes for it to pass. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
2 people are facing hate crime charges accused in anti-Semitic graffiti incidents in Squirrel Hill. Mohammed Hamad and Talia Yulbit are charged with conspiracy and defacing or damaging religious property in July at Chabad and also the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh. They're also accused of defacing pro-Israel yard signs. A record high temperature is expected later today.
Around 81 degrees, which will break the record for the day. The record for the day is 79, and that was last reached in 1950s.
AccuWeather's Heather Zaire says it will rain tonight. Showers should hold off, though, until trick-or-treating hours are over. Halloween has turned into one of the biggest party nights in the U.S. Sean Kelly with the state's Liquor Control Board says it's right up there with New Year's Eve in terms of drunk driving incidents.
There are holidays like Halloween, you have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, New Year's, obviously. And as people get together and they start drinking, sometimes there's this tendency to overserve or overconsume, and that leads to some issues out on the roads, and that leads to some issues out in public as well.
On the Big K Morning Show, Kelly said state liquor stores are offering party planning guides to help people determine how much alcohol to serve at a party. The Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh has created a new scholarship to honor a former superintendent. Bishop David Zubik announced today the Michelle Peduto Lighting the Way Scholarship for Catholic Education. Peduto served in the city's Catholic schools for more than 21 years and was named superintendent in 2019. After her death in August, Bishop Zubik said there were many requests for a way to honor Peduto's memory, which led to the scholarship. It is intended to support students who share her passion for faith, service, and learning. Contributions can be made at the Diocese of Pittsburgh website. That's diopit.org. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is down 376 points at 41,766. The NASDAQ down 436 now. The S&P down 90 points. KDKA Sports, the Penguins will try to stop a 6-game losing streak tonight at home against Anaheim, and the Texans and Jets from New Jersey on Thursday Night Football. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, your roofer with thousands of 5-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Time to call Shenderovich, and Fishman. Why pay 40% when you can pay 25%? Call 888-98-TWINS. 73 and cloudy in Pittsburgh. KDKA AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan silver dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan silver dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3871.
We all want more. More laughs. More hangouts. More, this is the best takeout ever. Excuse me. But if you're 75 or older or 60 or older with certain health conditions, you've also got more risk of getting seriously sick from RSV. But an RSV vaccine lowers your risk. so you can keep doing more of the stuff you love.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Risk less, do more. Get started at vaccines.gov.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic Powered by Bowser and Genesis, Ellen Gamble was
All right, Marty, well, we have some tame traffic out there. Gives us a chance to talk about construction zones that are in your way. Kicking off for you today, for example, a single lane and shoulder restrictions will happen as needed on Route 51. This in West Mifflin, Baldwin, Pleasant Hills, and Jefferson Hills boroughs in both directions on 51 between Coal Valley Road and Lebanon Church Road about 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays through late November. And plan ahead as well for slowdowns around lane restrictions on McKnight Road in the city of Pittsburgh and Ross Township. McKnight will be down to a single lane in each direction between the Evergreen Road, Babcock Boulevard interchange, and Perrymont Road. That's also on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. through mid-November. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead. And that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code Brooks91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy, and quite warm this afternoon. High a record-breaking 81. Dry this evening, turning mostly cloudy with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I don't like basketball, so as a result, I don't like Larry Scirotto. It's just the way it is. People in this town kill me, man. Look, I'm biased. I don't care what you think, and I, I'm what you call a man's man. I'm very loyal, and I'm loyal to truth, and I'm loyal to integrity. And I'm loyal to leadership and a sense of humor and someone who gives a crap about people. And Larry fits all that. It's so funny because he's sitting here, and I'm kind of screwed that you're leaving because you're a great resource, because you answer the damn phone and you talk to the public. And for selfish reasons, I think the public needs to hear from the chief, don't you?
I agree. Absolutely. I mean, that's what their expectation is. That's what they hired me to do, would be the face of the Bureau. And so I embrace that challenge.
Yeah, and again, no disrespect to any former chief, because it's not about me. It certainly isn't about the media. But some chiefs are just by the book, and they don't like to be on camera, on the air at all, and they just do their thing and go home. And I think it benefits the general public if they hear from that guy or that woman a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they're looking for like a sense of calm, right? And especially when there's at times such chaos, and they want to relate to the chief, I think. And when you go out into the community, like they see you on TV, and it takes them a while to recognize, especially if I'm in like normal clothes, and like, wait a minute, hey, you're the chief, and then you have a conversation and you put some humanity into our profession, because that's, I think, where we are criticized the most, is that we lack that humanity, and that's a way to make our profession human to the public.
Kind of shocked a lot of people when you up and quit, as they say. Were you shocked that you made that decision, or you kind of felt enough is enough, I got to go?
You know, I didn't come to that conclusion lightly. There are so many aspects that went into the final decision, and you start talking or thinking about like what this profession takes from us. I challenge our officers all the time to have and love something outside of policing, because it takes from you physically, it takes from you emotionally, it takes from you mentally, but more importantly, it starts to take you from your family. And that's what this last round of scrutiny started to cause. It started to impact my family, and that's the thing that I couldn't allow to continue to occur.
People just, well, you know the criticism that you played us, and I mean us by the citizens. And this is the theory, and this comes from counsel. This isn't something new or news to you. I'm not sandbagging you here. The theory is that you were never going to quit reffing. The theory is that you and Gainey cut a deal that once you got your feet set here again, that you'd start reffing again. And that's what happened, and that's that. Is that fair?
The reality of it is, like, we have, like anything, so you have incentive-based contracts. A lot of CEOs do, some chiefs of police do, but they usually compensate you financially. My incentive-based contract was, if we had a responsible approach to gun violence, if we had a responsible approach to community policing, if we had a responsible approach to recruiting and hiring, November's class is going to start November 4th, 44 officers in it.
Nice.
It's one of the largest classes we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Diverse, right? If we had responsible approaches to those things that were a challenge for us prior to me getting here, that my incentive was that I could go back to officiating.
Oh, okay. So in English, you set up a template of success. And so the template exists that if you set these watermarks for different things, right?
Right.
That you could go back to reffing.
And if I stunk at my job,
right,
as the police chief, then refereeing was not an option. So that's exactly what the conversation was in front of council when Councilman Colco suggested that they were lied to. If I was bad at my job, I wasn't going back to officiating, period. Couldn't happen. But if I met these benchmarks, then that's my incentive. The incentive is to go and be able to do something I love. We met and exceeded every one of those benchmarks. And because of that, Mayor Gainey gave me the latitude and opportunity to go back.
But and I know you pretty well, and I know this town pretty well, and I know those council members pretty well, and I know the mayor pretty well. I never heard of that plan, that incentive-based plan. In other words, this is like a side deal between you and the mayor, and if I'm characterizing it unfairly,
I don't call it. It's just conversation, right? It's.
In other words, this wasn't told to the public.
No, it was. What are you going to say? If my chief stinks, then nothing. Then none of this is true. It's a conversation in a man to a man,
right?
And it's an agreement between the mayor and myself.
I see.
Man to man. If you do these things, then we will revisit your officiating career. And we did those things, and we did them better than expectations. And because of that, then I got the opportunity to revisit officiating.
So when people say you lied, when counsel says you lied, did you lie?
I answered the question correct, right? And that was correct in that moment, right? And in that, I don't think anybody that knows me would ever think that I would walk away from officiating for life. It gave me energy, it gave me focus, and it gave me a goal to achieve for this bureau, for this city, for our community. And when we did that, then that was my reward.
Do you feel like you let the city down?
Absolutely not.
You don't?
Absolutely not.
Are you kind of, because I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of blown away by the criticism of you now. You went from, I swear, overnight you went from Jesus to Judas. Yeah. Overnight. You hate that.
How quick does the mighty fall, or how quick does perspective change in that, because now there's a decision that people aren't at peace with.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, I've got to be at peace with the decisions that I make, and I'm at peace with the work and the accomplishments that the Bureau has made over the last 18 months. And I can walk away from here not satisfied, because there's always work to do, but assured that the work that I started, the work that we have started together, will continue forward.
You know what's interesting about when this first happened? I said, "Who cares?" And the reason why I say this is because I know a lot of cops, and a lot of cops have side hustles, as I do, by the way, and they do their job. There's a cop who's in a band. There's cops that have businesses. I mean, there are. And how are you any different? And then I thought, once it hit the fan, once I started seeing pictures of you reffing, once it became ugly, I thought, this ain't going to work. And you kind of agree, don't you?
Yeah, I don't disagree. The amount of distraction, the optics that this will have, like every time I'm on a basketball game and there's some major event in the city, whether we are aptly capable of responding to that event or not, it's going to be associated with me being at what in real life to others is a game. And I don't dismiss that of what I'm doing, right? It's a game. And to a lot of people that are having to face real life issues, right? And so I understand that. And I know that it wasn't sustainable. And because it wasn't sustainable, the Bureau does not deserve this distraction.
Because every time you were at a game, we would have seen, where's Larry? If someone gets shot and killed, Larry screwed up. Larry's to blame, right?
Where's Waldo, right? And it's a box score. I referee basketball at the highest level. It is a national broadcast every night. No hiding.
I actually think that is funny. I don't know how this works. I don't even know how they track officials down. All of a sudden, I'm seeing pictures of you reffing a game and then some chart with your name on it. I didn't even know that crap existed.
Yeah, like some investigative reporter finds me on a game. First off, doesn't even have the right date of the game, doesn't know where it's at. The broadcast, it's on the Big Ten Network. It broadcasts from Pacific Ocean to Atlantic Ocean, from Canada to Mexico. Who's hiding? Who's going to hide? I can't hide. But I understand that as well. And because there isn't this, because I'm always visible, I will always be associated to some one of our poor kids gets shot. That has to be my fault.
You would own that.
I have to. And you know, so then you start carrying weight of a world that you can't control.
Right.
And more importantly, you start impacting people's lives in a real way.
Well, it goes from Larry did a hell of a job to Larry sucks and he's a liar and look what he's doing, making a living, all this money. He doesn't care about Pittsburgh. That's what it would have become.
Yeah, and that's just not fair. It's not fair to the Bureau. It's not fair to my professional reputation. I think, listen, at the end of the day, I think I earned the opportunity to give it a shot, to give it a chance. However, the Bureau doesn't have to bear the responsibility, the burden of my life choices.
Yeah, I get it. No, I initially thought it would be cool, and once all the crap hit the fan, I thought, no, this is bad. It's bad for him. It's bad for this town. And you love this town. That's why you came back.
I love this police department, Marty. It is a majority of my adult life. It was the real adult job I've ever had. Look, scar on my face from getting hit by a car, policing. Scar on my hand in a domestic. I still have feeling in my finger from getting cut by an ashtray. Hole in my knee from a foot chase, chasing the dude that shot somebody in front of Oliver High School. Like, I've taken scars for this police department. And I love it. And I still love it. And I will always love it, no matter how critical it is, no matter how challenging it is. It has always been worth it to me.
Yeah. But you're not gonna do this for a while. You might never do it again.
I think this is the time that I can step away, head held high, with a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride. And I know the Bureau is in a better place today than it was when I got here. I know the leadership team that we assembled is capable, beyond capable, of building a Bureau of Excellence. So I don't doubt the opportunities that the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police have on the horizon.
Did you, because you heard this too, this isn't new or news to you. Everybody, I got all these texts at all. He was sandbagging this. He came back to puff up his pension. I heard that. I don't know anything about pensions. I apologize. I don't have one. I'm independently wealthy, as you already know. But I don't know how. Did you come back and take this gig to make more money when you retire?
Okay, so for the $40,000 a year that they're speaking of, cost me $87,000 on a down payment for a house. Cost me $18,000 to move my family from Texas to Pennsylvania. $100,000 right there. I lost an entire year's worth of basketball salary. It will take me 8 years to recover the amount of money that the pension's going to benefit. Oh, and by the way, right? We moved our family.
Right.
If that was the case, why wouldn't I have left on May 10th?
Right.
It's a year look back. I was invested. We were invested. My family was invested. it was a matter of when this became a story, when this became a reality, like we just couldn't sustain the constant chaos, people jumping out of bushes at the airport to determine like where was Larry at last night.
Right. It got old.
It got old. And it would continue. That story was never going to end.
At the end of the day, I'm hearing that you may never go back to law enforcement, that you may do this for the rest of your life, the reffing, because it pays really well, and you must really love it too, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a career, and there's something really cool about 17,000 people booing you and cheering you at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the challenge to be excellent every night, understanding that 50% of the time you're making the wrong call in somebody's opinion, right? And but you have, like, listen, we are evaluated every game. We are challenged to be excellent every game, looking for perfection, never getting it. And there's something intrinsic about that type of pursuit.
What happens when you see what happened when you made this decision is I start getting all this flood of information that you're under investigation in Florida. They had the goods on you, and then this guy quit, and that was so all of a sudden you're being characterized as a bad guy who broke the law in other places, and the reason why you're leaving this is because you're evading the law here, because you're breaking the law here. How do you manage that, those accusations and allegations, because you know this is out there?
I always said, just because someone has an opinion that's public doesn't make it the public's opinion. And those are exactly what those are. Those are opinions. Like if you want to talk about Fort Lauderdale, the FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, investigated that, found it completely unfounded, right? If we want to talk about another criticism,
right?
It's all unfounded. So just because you can say it or write it doesn't make it true. I want somebody to tell me one stitch of evidence that actually showed it was factual.
Isn't that part of being the chief? And isn't that part of what sucks about being the chief?
I think you sent me a message, life in the fishbowl.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And when you accept a role with life in the fishbowl, then you accept all of the criticism that comes with it, whether it's fair. At times it's not going to be, and if that's your expectation, you will be very disappointed as the chief of any department, whether it's factual. I mean, I don't go on social media for a reason.
Right.
The giraffe head that has an opinion, the GOP 2024 that criticizes me, I had to block him. Right? Because his statements are false, and there's no character in the things that they say, and no facts in the things that they say. So if life in the fishbowl means that you're going to be constantly criticized, everything that you do is going to be observed, treated fairly or unfairly, then I accepted that role when I became the chief.
What are you going to do, man? Are you going to stay here? Are you going to move? Because I'm hearing you might end up back in Texas.
So my partner, things the public doesn't know, right, is like my partner gets promoted. They are sending us and him out of state. What are we going to do? Are we going to live apart for the next year?
Yeah.
No.
I'm
going to follow his dreams as well. He followed me here.
We're Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to follow his dreams to pursue his career goals. And I can live anywhere as an official, so it doesn't matter.
You're not going to be a cop?
No.
Not in Dallas?
No, not at all.
Because, I know what that's like.
Oh, yes, you do.
This is playland compared to that, brother.
That's a heavy lift. That's a super heavy lift, and I have no interest in that lift.
And what about to the people of Pittsburgh who will be disappointed you're leaving? What's your message to them?
I just know that the department's in great hands. Assistant Chief Fraglin will do excellent in that role if given the opportunity.
What about cops who tell me they don't like him? He's not nice to people. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I don't know what nice is. He's a very thoughtful, very committed 30-year veteran. If you're looking for my personality to his personality, we're just very different, and so that's not the fair comparison. All I know is when push comes to shove, will he do the job in the way in which this city deserves and the way in which our officers deserve? I say 100% affirmative he will. And he should be given the chance to do so, personality aside.
Here's what's fascinating about you, and I've been around a lot of cops. I've been in this business more than 40 years, and I've known a lot of chiefs, man. I've never heard criticism of you. And here's what makes it even wilder. Until now. Now they're all picking on you because they have to work 12-hour shifts and all this other stuff. I've never heard anyone come after you. And what's wild is you're gay. And I'm saying that because cops can be pretty hateful, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they never even came after you. You got to respect that. That never became an issue. And with men and macho cops, It can be kind of testy, can it not?
It can be, but there's
I'm being honest. I'm trying
fair.
to,
Super fair, right? But listen, sexuality aside, there's not a thing that I haven't done in this department.
Right.
I put in work.
Yeah, you did.
And when you put in work, real knows real. And when you put in the work, people accept you for that effort. And whatever about you that they disagree with or can't understand doesn't matter, because that's what this profession does. It embraces hardworking officers, embraces hardworking cops. And I did it. And I'm proud of that record. I said, I got the scars to prove it. So, I just never faced that criticism because to a lot of people, I was real police, right? And in that, you get nothing else matters. And actually, the reality is nothing else should matter.
It doesn't. So the only complaint I ever hear from cops here is they don't get paid enough. And I agree with that. Will they ever get paid enough, which is $100,000 plus? Can the city ever afford that? And should they have to do it to keep the good ones?
They're going. Listen. I don't think that Mayor Gainey. And this is not like some political plug.
Right.
Is the best mayor this police department has ever seen. He gives a damn about the officers that work for the Bureau. And I'm going to tell you, in the 30 years that I've been here, the only one ever like it, the only one as engaged, the only one committed to compensating them in a way, to your point, that will keep them here. So when I think about him as the mayor, I know that this department needs him for its continued success.
Ascent. Yeah.
Ascent. Probably more than it actually needed me. And I told him that. Like, this city, this police department needs you more than it needs me. And I meant it. And that Mayor Ed Gainey, gives a damn about our police department. And so in that, yeah, we'll get there. I think we'll get there. And they're going to go into a contract year in 2025. And I think they'll be compensated fairly compared to our suburban counterparts. Will we ever pay higher than Monroeville? No, because we can't. Right? With 800 and something odd officers, you're never going to meet the affluent suburbs pay scale, but we can be competitive.
Thanks, my man.
My man.
I really am going to miss you, because you know what, man? You tell the truth and you answer the phone, and that's rare. Yeah. And you give a damn. That's rare. Good luck with the game, man.
Hey.
You know what you're doing? You're chasing your dream. That's what we're all here for.
And at the end of the day, listen, I love this Bureau. I admire and respect the men and women that do the real work every day. I just thank them for allowing me to be their leader for the time that I got the opportunity to do it.
My man, thanks for coming in here. You didn't have to. Bye-bye to Larry.
Peace, guys.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a cool day is on tap for Saturday with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 55. It'll be warmer Sunday with some sun followed by increasing clouds and a high of 65. Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a MyLowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on everyday essentials, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/gutter for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Kamala Harris worked with Joe Biden to make things cost less for all Americans.
Here are a few examples of what they did. They made a rule that prescription drugs can't cost more than $2,000 for people on Medicare like seniors and the disabled. They lowered the cost of inhalers to $35. They lowered hearing aid prices by making them available over the counter. And they lowered the price of insulin to $35 per month. Paid for by American Independent Radio.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
73 and mostly cloudy at 11:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. A 24-year-old man was wounded in a shooting last night in Munhall. 911 was notified a few minutes before 9 p.m. of the shooting in the 1200 block of McClure Street. Police say the man had a non-life-threatening wound and was in stable condition when taken to a hospital. Officers found multiple shell casings at the scene. Halloween is a good time to remind people about the dangers of the artificial sweeteners in candies and chocolates for dogs during trick-or-treat time. Dr. Mike Hutchinson of Animal General in Cranberry Township was on the Big K Morning Show.
You know, dogs like to get into everything. They smell it and then they want to taste it. And xylitol is what we're talking about, is artificial sweetener. People know that chocolate's toxic. I do love canned pumpkin for dogs as a fiber source, but we don't want them to get into moldy pumpkin, you know, so we have to be careful with the pumpkins that are out there because they will get moldy, especially with the heat that we've been having.
Some other things for pet owners to watch out for: keeping Halloween decorations away from pets and paying attention to stress levels at parties that can make a dog or a cat anxious. We're talking today about a record high for Halloween, 81 degrees, but in Pittsburgh history, that hasn't always been the case. Pittsburgh Magazine's Christy Graber explains.
On October 31st, 1993, snow covered the ground for Halloween, which fell on a Sunday. I was a freshman in high school, like my daughter is now, but I went out for candy in McCandless with my dad and my little brother, and I was so bundled up that you could not tell that I was a teenage werewolf.
We had 6 inches of snow on that day and a high temperature of just 35 degrees. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 365 points at 41,776. The NASDAQ is down 439, and the S&P down 88 points. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:32. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Close friend called me crying. I'm serious. I'm breathless, gasping for air, desperate. Her loved one, her husband, is in a long-term care facility, and they're suing her because she can't afford to pay the bill. That's desperate. You know who stepped in to help? Rob Pierce. Rob Pierce and Associates. I'm serious. 844-505-4774. They're taking care of her. Rob Pierce and Associates. 844-505-4774.
Kamala Harris gets that everyday costs are too high. She has real plans to tackle price gouging, cut taxes for middle-class families, and make life more affordable. Her opponent's plan?
Donald Trump plans to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax. On everyday products, it will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothing, a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. When everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher.
Kamala Harris, a better plan for lowering costs for a future we can afford. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this advertising.
So when I went to physical, and it's a physical therapy joint in Monroeville for balance for me personally. It's really changed everything about my balance. I couldn't do rock climbing. I can now. I felt uneasy coming downstairs in the morning. I feel great now. I'm serious. It's amazing what they do at Physical. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. Physical, 412-457-8200. It's in Monroeville, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Physical, 412-457-8200.
As a mom of 3, I'm responsible for big decisions impacting my family. Last year, we needed to replace a few appliances. Imagine my surprise when I learned that some places are banning gas stoves. Now, new government auto mandates mean we could pay thousands more for our next vehicle. We need more energy and more choices, not fewer. Learn more at energycitizens.org.
Paid for by the American Petroleum Institute.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, the traffic troubles have eased considerably for the folks who might be trying to make some commute at this point in the morning. So it gives us a chance to talk about traffic stoppages of up to 15 minutes at a time, plus a single alternating lane of traffic that will greet you between 1 and 4 p.m. today on Commercial Street, where it goes under the Parkway East in Frick Park. So the road and the adjacent 9-mile run bike and pedestrian trail through the park will be relocated about 150 feet west of the Commercial Street Bridge. Of course, that bridge carries the Parkway East into the Squirrel Hill tunnels and is set for a massive reconstruction and replacement project over the next couple of years. But that portion of the project will get in your way this afternoon. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Breezy and very warm this afternoon. We'll have sun and some clouds with a record-breaking high of 81. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, mild with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Parmar store. See for yourself. Download the Parmar Stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Got a pesky drain? Galease Service's $93 clog crusher will clear your main drain, or it's free. If Galease can't clear your clogged drain, it's free. Call 412-831-6199. 5-year warranty. Return visit included. PA 10887.
Call Galease.
Ooh, should we get an app?
Appetizer? Nah, not for me. Trying to save some money, you know?
You know what you need? The Upside app. Gives you cash back on essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. You could earn up to $10 on every restaurant meal.
Upside? What's the catch?
No catch. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back at places like Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Arby's.
Okay, now that's the app I'm getting.
Download the Upside app and get a 10% bonus on your first restaurant purchase. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hi, this is Larry Richard with Dan Bitchoff, the PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center. Anxiety, Dan, you know, is at an all-time high.
It's out of control right now, Larry. We have people calling in every day to help with anxiety. And the thing that we have here at the PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center is we're able to get to the part of the brain that actually causes the anxiety. Most everybody knows that people have problems, but they can't control the anxiety on their own. So the sessions that we do actually from the first session on gets that part of the brain to stop causing that fight or flight anxiety response, and that's how we're able to give the guarantee with our program.
And you've worked with high-level athletes, Olympic athletes. Where do we get started?
We do a free consultation, and we're going to do the same thing with the clients here that we do with the U.S. Olympic team to help them win gold medals. So when you call the office for the consultation, we can set that up. It's 724-934-8446.
The PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center, 724-934-8446. Call now.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, Halloween is here. I'll be dressing up as a radio host, and you can hear me from 2 to 6 today, right here on KDKA. Colin Dunlap.
Well, you heard it. People don't like what I do sometimes. Gotta chase the rabbit, man. Every time anyone ever asks me about my gig, I'm blessed. I just am. I get to do crazy stuff, man. I mean, we're going to hand out 500 turkeys. I mean, come on, man. We're going to hand out 35,000 chocolate bars. Go to a vet's house and pay all his bills. You know what I mean? Help someone get a kidney. I mean, put a roof on a house. Put a furnace in a home. I mean, help someone get into Western Psych. I mean, really. Change a few laws. Screw up the lives of a couple ridiculously obnoxious politicians who shouldn't be in office. I'll take that every day of the week. I'm kind of like Larry in that I don't care if you don't like me. I care that I can help you, and I care that my wife loves me. One of my boys, in kind of in a backhanded way, was criticizing me, saying, "You focus on two things: your family and your job." Yeah, that's kind of it. I wish him the best, man. I find him to be a hell of a man. I know people don't like that he's reffing basketball. I don't care. I'll miss him on the air. I'll get Raglan on the air. Everybody's not gonna love every Chief. They're just not. And as Larry says, it's not a popularity contest. He doesn't want to be Miss Pittsburgh Chief, but he wants to be a good Chief, and he has a great reputation. We'll see what happens. And one thing he did say, that cops will never get paid what they get paid in Penn Hills or Mount Lebanon, or they just won't. I wanted someone I trust, their view of what he just said, and someone I trust like a brother is Anthony. Well, you heard him.
Marty was a great interview, and he was stand up as it gets. It's a shame that this town is so parochial, and it's similar to Hooterville, that they chased out a good man.
But I think you said it last week. I think you said this, though, when this went down. He couldn't do both these jobs.
Well, no. Yeah. It would have been too time-consuming, and he did the honorable thing.
Yeah.
And plus, if his partner has aspirations also, then this chief job would have interfered with that. And at this stage of his life, go on and do what you need to do.
Hey, Anthony, you know what jumped out? I know you heard this, and I know this irritated you. So he admitted that they kind of sort of had a back room. I'm not saying it was sleazy, but they had a deal with the chief going in, and with the mayor, I apologize, that if I reach these landmarks, right, then I can do basketball again. The only problem with that, my brother, is no one else knew about that deal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to keep the legislative branch informed.
That's right.
The mayor has to understand. And that's why he's being criticized, because he's under the assumption that he can just do it all on executive order. He can't. We have three branches in Pittsburgh too. We have a courts, we have an executive branch and a legislative branch. He has to answer to them. They're the ones who administer the funding. So if you did any deal in lieu of him not taking certain amounts of money for him to have these aspirations, and he'll go back to refereeing, then council should have been informed on that. That's just factual.
By the way, Patrick pointed out something that's actually funny. That's why we're so close. So last night I was going back and forth on this with Teresa Smith, who I love her, by the way. She's very cool. And I said, you guys should have a contract for these people. And she said, I know. This should be in a contract.
Yes.
It should.
Yes.
Like I have a contract. You sign it. Period. You want to be a ref? Here's what happens. Huh?
Yes. Yes. If you meet the threshold, this is what you want to do. And it was clear that his heart is really into refereeing.
Yeah, kind of.
And he can make a lot of money. And more power to him. And now I have the freedom with his partner who's in Texas. Now he doesn't have to work. Because this job would have become overwhelming.
Hey, by the way, I'm also a moron. I had no idea you could make $350,000 reffing basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I had
he
no
could
idea.
Probably now, since he's free, he could do the WNBA when the NCAA season's over. So he could make a fortune.
Anthony, I got to be honest. I never thought. And I asked him how that happens. He said the contract with CBS. Billions of dollars.
Yeah. But, Marty, you're like me, my friend. I have three loves in my life. God, my family, and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And talk radio.
Well, I love talk radio.
Yep.
It's been a part of my life.
I mean, people may not know this. You're as significant on the Fan as you are here. I mean, you're an icon. I mean,
yeah. But I've been talking. Look, I used to talk to all the big time guys down here. Fred Hansberger was one of my best friends.
Yep. I love you.
So I love you too, man. You and your family and everybody on the Big K.
And you're the same thing he was. You're honest and you're passionate and you give a crap. It's a three cornerstones, man. It's all good.
Yeah, and he's intelligent, and I try to use my intelligence for good.
No, you do, man.
All right.
Smarter
Thank you.
than most of us. Thanks, brother. I love him. On the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. What's up, Alan Gamble?
All right, Marty, traffic is rolling well, including on Interstate 79 right now. We want to give you a chance to have a heads up about 79 and some overnight ramp closures, though. This is going to be in Robinson Township through late November from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. on your weeknights. You're going to need to leave extra time to use the posted detours around the closed southbound I-79 ramp to northbound Route 60. That's exit 60B heading toward the airport. Plus, the ramps from both sides of Route 60 to southbound I-79 will close again. Lots of extra time needed there. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. Kamala and Joe raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle. And their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024 Inc.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
First time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends. Weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code Brooks91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Look out, here comes Wrong Way Rob Matzy. Always flying the wrong way. Matzy sent millions of your tax dollars to Philadelphia, while here in Beaver County, we needed help. In fact, Rob Matzy votes 99% of the time with the woke Philadelphia liberals. And Rob Matzy's not lying straight when it comes to our values. Rob Matzy voted to make it easier to let violent criminals back on the street. Matzy even voted to let biological males on girls' sports teams and in their locker rooms. With Wrong Way Rob Matzy in the cockpit, it's all left wing. Rob Matzy doesn't share our values anymore. A lifetime on the taxpayer dime made him forget where he's from. To Rob Matzy, Beaver County's just flyover country. But there's hope. Michael Parrish shares our values. He'll fight for jobs, lower taxes, and make life affordable again. Michael Parrish, he shares our values. One of us for a change.
Paid for by HRCC, authorized by Michael Parrish.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When an injured worker left me a message that said, "You probably won't call me back. I'm just a nobody." I called him right back. Nobody's a nobody, and no one deserves a better firm than you.
When Morgan said, "Nobody is a nobody," I felt like that. And they took care of me, and now we're doing okay. Thank God that I went to Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Aurora Innovation's commercial launch of driverless trucks has been delayed to 2025, but the company is not pumping the brakes. Representatives for the company have repeatedly said that it expects to have completely driverless vehicles on the road by the end of this year. But along unveiling its third quarter earnings to investors, Aurora announced it now expects to launch the technology commercially in April of 2025. That launch is still expected to be between Dallas and Houston. Also, O'Hara-based Howard Hanna Real Estate Services is extending its sales territory further westward in Ohio and south into South Carolina with 2 new acquisitions. The company announced what it described as 2 significant mergers that include Big Hill Realty, a firm based in Dayton in southwestern Ohio, and the Alliance Group Realty, based in the South Carolina beachfront community of Hilton Head. While the company provided no specifics on the size of the Dayton firm, the Alliance Group Realty has grown to a staff of more than 70 agents and generated more than $140 million in sales last year, according to the announcement. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I love Halloween. It's kind of cool, especially on a warm night like this. I tell you, there's a magic to it. We sit outside, and we have a neighborhood that's flat, and they're big houses, and they're rich people, just saying. And rich people give those full-size candy bars, so the kids come to our neighborhood, and they get the full-size candy bars. Now, we give the small things, but I tell them, man, take a couple handfuls. I do. I love it. I love the look on their faces. I find it fascinating. In some ways, it's kind of cooler than Christmas on a grander scale, because you see so many happy kids, and then their parents all come with them, and the neighborhood kind of shut. There's no traffic at all. And I don't know about every neighborhood, but Mount Lebanon's smart about this, man. This thing starts at 6. And I'm telling you, man, there'll be 50 kids at our door at 6:05, and then at 8 o'clock it shuts down. And I mean, man, it shuts down by 8:01. Everyone's gone. It's smart, man. Because then if someone comes to your house at 9, you know it's some idiot. I love Halloween. I think it's cool. My boy pointed out the price of chocolate has gone up. My boy Jim, he's right. I think we're going to spend over $200. And those small little, what do they call, fun size. But I think we got 8 bags. That's a lot of candy because it has a couple hundred pieces in it. But you figure we'll get 300 kids, maybe more. Now, I know that's changed dramatically in some neighborhoods. People don't get trick-or-treaters anymore. because the neighborhood's menacing or everyone's older, or they leave their lights out. Or our neighborhood, again, it's flat. It's very safe. It's well lit, and so they all come there, and I'm cool with it. Plus, we have a lot of kids in our neighborhood. I don't see any hooligans or derelicts. There's no devil's night. I'm going to get into this in the next hour. I find it disgusting and vile that somehow kids are brought up to think that you can destroy things, and that's funny on Halloween or the night before Halloween. It doesn't matter. They call it Devil's Night. I find that to be disgusting. And then when grown men do it on Devil's Night and they combine it with the Dodgers winning the world title, I don't get that. You know, when you're deciding to commit a crime because the Dodgers won the World Series, then you're a criminal. You're not a fan. You're a friggin' loser criminal. There's this sickening video of L.A. They somehow the thugs decided to celebrate the World Series by breaking into like one of those discount stores for Nike, like a factory store, and somehow they believed that celebrating a World Series, that was the appropriate way to do this. Really? 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 Who the hell taught you that? I'm going to get into this a little more, but this idiocy in Detroit started in the 20s, and it became a tradition. Of all the things to make a tradition, to burn down houses in your city, and that was in Detroit. Some years in Detroit, I'm not exaggerating this, and now again, they have, they lost 1 million in population. 1 million. I'm not kidding. It coincided with the shutdown of the mills in Pittsburgh. We lost 100,000. No, we lost more than 200,000. We used to be 600,000. Then we went down to 4. Now we're down to 3. Detroit was over 2 million. Now they're under 1 million. So think of the empty houses. We have 8,000 in the city. They must have, what, 50, 100,000 empty houses? Seriously. And so to celebrate Halloween on Devil's Night, all the idiots, packs of thugs and morons would burn houses. Sometimes 50 or 100. That is not the Halloween that I love. The Halloween I love is mom and dad and their little kids. And they come waddling up and they're just adorable. And they say please and they say trick or treat. We have a fog machine and I blast them with fog and they get scared and they grab some candy and move on. And then the next group comes and their parents. I like to see families together. Some of the adults will have a beer. Some will have a cocktail, but they're cool, man. I think that represents the greatness of this country, not the bitterness and the people fighting in the streets over a Trump flag. You don't see one person talking politics. No one's angry. Everyone's happy. It's kind of a beautiful thing. It's what I love about Halloween.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Just a few of the reasons why CCAC rocks. Listen to this. The degrees. Business management, criminal justice, culinary arts, graphics communications, film technology, mechatronics technology, medical insurance specialists, cybersecurity, software development, nursing, I'm serious, facilities maintenance technology, heating and air conditioning technology, welding, just a few of the degrees. And you leave school with no debt. CCAC rocks.
PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. To do this, they're implementing their community benefits plan that focuses on affordable home lending, small business loans, and employee volunteerism, and creating other opportunities to give back on a local level. They're proud to be part of the Pittsburgh community. See how PNC Bank can make a difference for you at pnc.com/ourcommitments. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 75 and breezy, mostly cloudy skies at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. New this hour, one person is dead following a fatal crash involving a tanker truck and a car in Westmoreland County. Parts of routes 66 and 356 in Washington Township have been closed as police investigate a head-on accident at around 10 a.m. Drivers are being encouraged to avoid that area. Also new this hour, the person killed in a head-on crash in Washington County Tuesday night has been identified. Tiffany Ryder of Uniontown was a front seat passenger in a vehicle hit by another vehicle that crossed the center line of Old Route 71 in Fallowfield Township. The county coroner's office says the 36-year-old rider was not wearing a seatbelt. 5 others were injured in the accident.
Campaign 2024, the race for the White House.
Donald Trump campaigned with NFL legend Brett Favre Wednesday in Green Bay. Trump appeared on stage in an orange safety vest after riding in a garbage truck to draw attention to an offensive comment by President Joe Biden. Kamala Harris made her pitch for votes yesterday in Raleigh, Harrisburg, and Madison, Wisconsin, as part of a blitz of battleground states in the final week before Election Day. The county's proposed 46.5% property tax increase got mixed reaction from residents at Wednesday's budget hearing. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has the story.
County resident Margaret Thompson tells council she was at one time facing housing instability and shares her support for the increase.
Most of our neighbors are one layoff, hospitalization, or funeral expense away from housing instability. I understand that the budget comes at a tax increase, but it's such a small price to pay to keep the county stable.
However, Jeremy Schaefer, county resident and business owner, disagrees.
I urge you not to raise the property tax, but instead to enact policies that will help spur job growth, job creation, investment, and help our region move forward.
The 46% property tax increase is the first proposed in 12 years. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Well, the biggest obstacle for trick-or-treaters tonight is rain, but AccuWeather's Heather Zare expects showers later in the night.
We're going to start to see some showers from the west catching up with us. I don't think that they're going to get here before about 9 o'clock this evening, so it may be a little close, but I do think it stays dry through the trick-or-treat hours.
Halloween 2024 is forecast to reach a record high of 81, but on this day in 1993, snow covered the ground. Pittsburgh Magazine's Christy Graver remembers it well.
I was a freshman in high school, like my daughter is now, but I went out for candy in McCandless with my dad and my little brother, and I was so bundled up that you could not tell that I was a teenage werewolf.
Now, there were 6 inches of snow with a temperature of just 35 degrees. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 332 points at 41,810. The NASDAQ is down 458 points, and the S&P is down 91. KDKA Sports, the Penguins will try to stop a losing streak tonight at home against Anaheim, and the Texans and Jets will be playing in New Jersey on Thursday Night Football. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, making life better one roof at a time. TrustPJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time is 12:03. It's 75 and breezy, cloudy in Pittsburgh now. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
Real quick, raise your hand if you want to lose an additional 4 bands a year. Go ahead and put your hands up. Put your hands up.
You voted for Kamala Harris. Oh, okay. My fault. Good, because I don't think people understand that voting for Trump means you will lose an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. If Trump is elected, he plans to add a 60% tariff on all imports from China. Anything in your house that says made in China, take the price that you paid for and add 60%. He plans to add a 20% tariff on all imports coming from every other country. With Kamala Harris's opportunity economy, she's not hitting you with the sales tax of doom. She's providing tax cuts to the middle and working class, so that means you will save an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Plus the $25,000 she's literally handing to new homebuyers. Like, you know who to vote for in this November's election. It's Kamala Harris. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Proud to call the Steel City home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Breezy and very warm this afternoon. We'll have sun and some clouds with a record-breaking high of 81. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, mild with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, it's Tech Vibe Radio. Join hosts Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Huntington Bank Studios as they bring you a front row seat to Pittsburgh's tech sector.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm kind of a pragmatic guy. So what's my point about that? I don't get caught up in the political rhetoric. I could give a damn, honestly, about Trump and his stupid garbage truck. I just don't care. I don't care about all the political ads. I don't care about the Kamala Harris stuff saying she's going to save us $100 million. I don't care because I don't believe that stuff. What I believe is what I see. And when I see impact in communities where they actually care about their everyday lives, and I see a change there for the better, that's what I care about. Why am I saying this? So I get a text from one of my favorite people who's actually spent his life in politics and who does a hell of a job as a judge in one of my favorite communities, Brookline. And we have complained and complained and complained about crime there. You know why? Because one of my boys owns Scoops, an ice cream shop, and we posted a video of some jagoff literally walking in there, grabbing an ice cream and walking out. And there's no cop up there until now. And that's what I give a damn about. Judge, good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, Marty. How are you? I'm good.
Am I not right here, sir? Where the rubber hits the road, that's what you care about in your community, is it not, sir?
That's right. That's right. We care about where we live. We want to make sure it's a safe place for everybody that lives here, everybody that visits here. We want the business district to be successful. We want, we want what everybody wants.
So let me be honest. Jim Motzik doesn't get caught up in Trump flags. You don't get caught up in Kamala Harris billboards. You get caught up in what's happening on Main Street in Brookline. Do you not, sir?
Absolutely. I've dedicated my life to making sure it's a safer community, and that's why I ran for council 30 years ago, I guess, because I care.
And so you see something today that kind of gives you hope that, all right, maybe we're going to get some love up here in terms of law enforcement. Tell me what you're seeing, because I'd love to hear this.
Yeah, it's you should take some credit for it yourself. It's the power of Marty's army, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but since I was on with you last after the ice cream incident, yeah, where the gentleman stole the 5-gallon tub of ice cream, they did. The Gainey administration heard about what went on. They listened to your show. They saw that I was on there and complaining a little bit about public safety absence on this side of the river in the South Hills. And today I was up my office on Brookline Boulevard, and I saw a beat cop walking the beat. I approached her.
Wow.
She was sent up to be the beat cop today. Not sure if it's going to be a permanent thing or not, but they're hearing some complaining about lack of public safety services here in the South Hills, and when they hear about it, they're doing something about it, and I was pleased and hopeful that it continues.
And tell us, because people don't get this, how much does that matter to have a beat cop, to have a presence with a badge on that street? How much?
Oh, yeah, it matters a lot. I walk up and down there all the time. I'm in Sal's Barber Shop. I'm in Peterland. I go over to the ice cream place. I bring my granddaughter. And when people see the officer, first of all, they're happy to see it. They feel a little safer walking up and down the street.
Yep.
And then I think the other end of it is that, the people that are there maybe hanging out and shouldn't be there, they see it also. And I think it moves them along, and that's the idea.
It works, doesn't it?
It does. Absolutely it does, yeah. Police presence is always a good thing for the community, always.
It doesn't suggest it's a crime area. It suggests that we got to have a cop here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We don't want it to become a crime area. We want to make sure that people feel safe and continue to come, and we want to make sure the place thrives. People want to live here. People want to shop here. That's the message it sends.
And I don't remember, we haven't touched base in a month, but are you still having an issue with the homeless folks, kind of panhandling?
Yeah, the one gentleman that he has some mental health issues, alcohol and drug problems. They've investigated him to the fullest extent that they can. He was arrested. He's been incarcerated. I don't know how many days he was in jail. They have him tied to a couple different going through cars that are unlocked because of his addiction. But I mean, the good thing is they're on it. They sent people up to investigate. We pulled some videos from some of the businesses.
Nice.
This young man was operating in the alley behind the businesses, and he went to jail. And we're trying to get him the help he needs. We got him the paperwork for the services, but it's a very difficult challenge if they don't want to get the help.
It is, man, and that's the conundrum, right? You can't arrest your way out of this, Jim.
Right, exactly. It's bigger, and we know that. We know that people want to, arrest him and keep him in jail the rest of his life. Well, that's not going to happen. We need to try to get them the services they need and try to convince them that they need the services. That's not always as easy as it sounds.
Jim Motznick, Judge, you're my man. You know that. We've been friends a hell of a long time. It's a pleasure you reached out, man. Thank you.
Okay, take care, Marty.
Bye, my man. He's a fabulous guy. He loves that town. I love Brookline Boulevard. There's a lot of cool restaurants. But my boy, Michael Collins, who owns Scoops, was frustrated as hell because we posted a video of a young man. It was weird, to be honest. Walked in the front door of Scoops, which I love, and half my family's worked there. And I love Michael because he has like 7 businesses and he just kicks ass and works. And we post this video. This young man walks in the front door, broad daylight, by the way, with employees behind the counter. Oh, it's airing right now on our stream. You got to see it. It's weird. He walks in behind the counter, literally takes a big tub, 5 gallons, tub of ice cream, walks out the front door. What's even weirder is they stand there outside the front door for a while, and then he walks away. And my buddy Michael's like, what the hell? What kind of way is this to run a business? What kind of way is this to manage a town, Brookline? And when a kid, it feels like there is no retribution, right? then he just continues to do that. So, Motznick texted me a while ago, so they have a beat cop on Brookline Boulevard now, and that will make a big difference. That the mayor's office responded, good for them, and that they listened to our show and responded, and good for them. And I'm proud to be able to help. And Michael texted me, he said, hopefully it'll keep the riffraff out. All they want to do, man, is run a business and have people enjoy ice cream. And what would be wrong with that?
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a cool day is on tap for Saturday with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 55. It'll be warmer Sunday with some sun followed by increasing clouds and a high of 65. Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a MyLowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on everyday essentials, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Tell you what, I'm serious about this. Some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life. And I mean, I'm an old guy. This restaurant in Oakmont, Michael A's, whoo! Slamming. Folks, slamming. 9.9 on a scale of 10. Seriously, Michael A's, Oakmont. Homemade, handcrafted Italian. I'm telling you, it'll be the best you've ever eaten. Michael A's, Oakmont.
Imagine being able to change a child's story. I'm a volunteer at CASA of Westmoreland who is working to make that dream a reality. As a volunteer court-appointed special advocate, I advocate for abused and neglected children, ensuring their voices are heard in court. You can be that voice. Join CASA and make a lasting impact in a child's life. Visit casaofwestmoreland.org to volunteer or donate today. That's casaofwestmoreland.org. Be the change a child needs.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Galease Services is here to keep you cozy. Their furnace tune-up not only ensures your system runs smoothly, but also improves energy efficiency, helping you save on your winter utility bills. Visit Galease.com and stay warm with Galease Services.
Call Galease.
Pennsylvania Voter Information Hotline. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm calling about these negative ads.
Which ones are you referring to?
The one accusing Bob Casey of wanting to make schools let men play in women's sports?
That's been fact-checked. It's not true. Bob Casey is against men playing in women's sports.
And the ad also says he wants to raise taxes on Social Security.
Well, Casey is chairman of the Senate Aging Committee. Actually, he's on record for lowering taxes on Social Security.
Boy, they really twist things, don't they? Well, what about McCormick on Social Security?
Well, McCormick has promised a large tax break for the top 1%. And our research shows you'd have to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid for nursing homes to pay for it.
I guess I'm not voting for the guy from Connecticut.
That's up to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good day.
I'm Bob Casey, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bob Casey for Senate.
Hi, this is Father Tom Burke of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. Join me for Catholic Education Plus as we focus on the Safe to Say statewide safety program. Catholic Education Plus airs this Sunday morning at 6:30 on KDKA Radio.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Now, to honor the spirit of this week, we spoke with Army veteran Glenn Phillips, who told us about buying a 100-year-old home where he was never alone.
I laid the book down, and I looked, and there was I saw two black, looked like smoky, they looked like real small humans, about 3.5 foot tall, but I could, they were translucent, I could see through them. And one's on one side of the door, one's on the other, and they were looking at the bedroom. I wear contacts, so I blinked my eyes real hard, and opened up my eyes. They were still there.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Finishing my peanut butter and jelly. I'm sorry. I gotta eat sometime. I love those Uncrustables. I went into the break room. They have a bunch of junk. The trick-or-treat stuff. I have now become a chocolate snob. Something happened to my taste buds when I had chemotherapy and radiation. Jacked them up, so I don't have much of a taste for chocolate. And so the cheaper chocolate, and I'm not trying to denigrate Hershey's because they make candy bars that the world eats, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't like it anymore, which is probably a blessing. My wife used to have to hide it. When we would bring those bags home, the little mini size, the snack size, fun size, I would eat 40 of them, stacks. I just don't like them. I'll eat Saris. I love Saris. It's just better chocolate. And I know I'm biased, but so what? I want to play this clip. My man, Ryan, play the clip with the girl who's cool with the tax increase. Or play Tamara's whole piece, please. This is last night, the budget hearings.
County resident Margaret Thompson tells council she was at one time facing housing instability and shares her support for the increase.
Most of our neighbors are one layoff, hospitalization, or funeral expense away from housing instability. I understand that the budget comes at a tax increase, but it's such a small price to pay to keep the county stable.
However, Jeremy Schaefer, county
enough.
resident and business.
Okay, so I'm a little confused by her. I like her, and she's right about housing. We don't have enough affordable housing. It's obvious. But two things. What the hell does that have to do with the 50% tax increase? Nothing. Nothing. None. Zero. Sarah Innamorato, what she does now is she rolls out a couple people that say this is a great idea, but that young lady, God bless her, she's not going to be affected by the tax increase. There's no way. And the big lie is that it's only going to be $15 a month. Well, that's stupid. For most people, it'll be a $1,000 to $3,000 tax increase, and that's before you get into the reassessment insanity that's about to happen. And I was just texting with Sam DeMarco, who I love, who is the Republican Party chairman, and who's a county council member. And as Sam said, and this is a quote. First of all, that nice lady who said she's happy with the tax increase, I don't know what the hell that has to do with affordable housing. But it doesn't. And she's not affected, so that's just silly. Sam says, because they keep pushing this 50% increase, they don't know how to govern. Nope. They don't know how to lead. Nope. And I don't think they know how to build relationships. Sam DeMarco, Republican Party chairman and county council member. Quote from Sam. Sarah Innamorato should have met with every council member to try to establish a rapport and build a relationship. She's asking us to take a very difficult vote for her. And she's done nothing to build a relationship with them that would make them amenable to doing so. Progressive grievance at its finest. Using my job as an example. Why did Larry Scirotto come in here and sit here for a half hour? And he didn't go on any other show, and he didn't do any interviews for any television stations or the newspapers. Why? Because we have a relationship, period. Sarah doesn't do that. So when she goes to someone that she doesn't know and says, I need a favor, they're thinking, back off, lady. I don't even know you. And now that you want something from me, I don't know you, so I'm not going to help you. There are 1,000 people that ask me for help on a daily basis. And I help the folks that need it most. But if someone comes to me for big-time help, and they're complete strangers, I don't help them because I don't know them. Period. Because we don't have a relationship. So what Sarah did was she didn't take the time to meet with any of these council members. Never met with Sam. Never, ever. And then she wants Sam to willy-nilly pass a 50% tax increase. He would sooner than lay on the tracks and wait for the train to come. Just the truth. There is no way in hell this county will pass a 2.2 mil tax increase. No way in hell. By the way, she's never been on this show. Ever. Ever. Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Marty, Jack from Dormont. It's been a while.
My man Jack, usually watching the day go by. What's up?
Yeah, tonight I'll be on the porch for Halloween.
See, I like that.
Yeah, I used to call you a lot. We talked about bike lanes. You know, now it's just all this nasty stuff, so I kind of refrain. But this, I was reading in the paper tonight, some old folks home in Stanton Heights is for homeless people now.
Yes, I saw that in the woods.
Yeah, and in your community of Mount Lebanon, there's a huge site that's deserted now, and I've been hearing whispers. I live right on the Mount Lebanon line. A lot of people are telling me that Baptist home on Castle Shannon Boulevard.
Yep.
Keep your eye on that, brother.
Okay.
I don't know that's all I got.
Are you up for the 50% tax increase?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you get what you vote for. You know, I'm at the point. I used to be a Democratic committee man in Dormont.
Oh, nice.
I'm at the point I vote all R's. I mean, you vote for these people when you get Orrin, whatever his name is, that magistrate.
Yes.
Yeah. And I wish we had Rich Fitzgerald back. And I actually wish, and I hate to say this, but Bill Peduto looks like a right-wing nut. I wish we had him back.
My man, thanks, brother.
Okay.
I love him. You hear what he said? He votes all R's now. They're all voting R's, Jimbo. Right?
I hear a lot. You know, it's funny, Marty. I know half a dozen Democrat former chairmen that are voting R. Think about that.
Wow.
I mean, it's really gone rampant. The moderates are starting to get off the couch, which is going to put the progressives in trouble.
And it doesn't help that Sarah doesn't communicate with any of the people she needs to communicate with.
No, and that's exactly right. You know, I'm a Democrat, and I sat next to Sam DeMarco as a councilman for years, and he's the most reasonable, let's sit down and have a cup of coffee kind of guy you ever want to meet. He looks for solutions. He doesn't look for arguments.
Right.
If they won't talk to him, it's them, not him. Trust me on that.
Well, how the hell do they expect 50% tax increase to pass without any discussion?
I think that they're going to try to go around Sam and try to intimidate some of the weaker members of council, for lack of a better word.
Sarah's not an intimidator. Have you been around her?
Oh, I know she's not, but obviously she's trying to scare everybody with this new mantra that she's putting out there, right?
I don't know. She's not an intimidator, and she's not an angry person, and she's not aggressive. I don't see any of this happening.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Allegheny County is looking for poll workers to work the election November 5th. Poll workers earn $150 to $175 for the day, plus paid training. For more information and to apply, visit AlleghenyVotes.com. That's AlleghenyVotes.com.
Learn how the Inflation Reduction Act will affect your Medicare plan in 2025. Dina Schmid, founder of One Health Benefits, is an expert in navigating all Medicare plan options and providing you with a complete comprehensive plan that best fits your needs. With over 2 decades of experience, Dina makes sure you're well covered and there's never a fee for her services. Call One Health Benefits today, 724-799-8873, 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 72 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Outgoing Pittsburgh's police chief Larry Scirotto is talking about retiring to return to basketball refereeing. We have more from News Radio KDK's David Bolorado.
In an exclusive interview with Marty Griffin, Scirotto says refereeing basketball games on the side was part of a gentleman's agreement between himself and the mayor.
My incentive-based contract was if we had a responsible approach to gun violence, if we had a responsible approach to community policing, if we had a responsible approach to recruiting and hiring.
Though it wasn't written into his contract, he said he and Mayor Gainey agreed if he reached those goals, he could officiate again. He denies there was any secrecy about what he was doing, saying it's hard to hide when anyone could see him officiating on the Big Ten Network. David Bolorado, News Radio, KDKA.
Halloween has become a big holiday for parties and adult beverages. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more on doing it responsibly.
Halloween house parties have grown in popularity and spending is up. Last year, Americans spent more than $12 billion on costumes, candy, and parties. Sean Kelly with the state's Liquor Control Board says parents should be responsible when drinking around children and talk with them about alcohol.
As kids hang around at home, they see their parents drinking, they see their parents' friends coming over, there's a party at the house, and a lot of times there's a question about what is alcohol, why can't I drink this, why are adults only supposed to drink this?
On the Big K Morning Show, Kelly said parents should explain why children should not drink until they reach the legal age. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio, KDKA.
Halloween is also a good time to remind people about the dangers of the artificial sweeteners in candies and chocolates for dogs during trick-or-treat time. Dr. Mike Hutchinson of Animal General in Cranberry Township telling the Big K Morning Show.
You know, dogs like to get into everything. They smell it, and then they want to taste it. And xylitol is what we're talking about, is artificial sweetener. People know that chocolate's toxic. I do love canned pumpkin for dogs as a fiber source, but we don't want them to get into moldy pumpkin, so we have to be careful with the pumpkins that are out there because they will get moldy, especially with the heat that we've been having.
Some other things for pet owners to watch out for. Keep your Halloween decorations at bay from your dog and pay attention to the stress levels at parties that could make your dogs anxious. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 270 points, the NASDAQ down 433. The S&P 500 is down 83 points. KDK Radio News Time is 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen 1 too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I have a friend that owns several businesses. This is a true story. His name's Michael. Sends me a text last week from Oakmont Bakery. Now, again, he owns 7 businesses. He said, never seen anything like it. The service, the product, the quality, the kindness. One of our friends left here, Samantha, my producer. They made her a beautiful cake Friday. Gorgeous cake. Oakmont Bakery is special, unique, run by an amazing family. Oakmont Bakery.
It's that time of the season. The area's premier Christmas market is back, November 9th and 10th in historic Harmony, Pennsylvania. Enjoy delicious German food, Glühwein, horse-drawn wagon rides, wine and moonshine tastings, and live music and entertainment. Browse our museum store and the incredible handcrafted holiday merchandise from our many artisans and vendors. There's lots to do this November 9th and 10th at the Harmony Christmas Market. Let's celebrate this year at the premier Christmas market. We'll see you there. Visit harmonymuseum.org for more details.
At Penn West University, we're making college make sense again for people who maybe thought college wasn't the answer. We're making college practical with programs tied to in-demand jobs that prepare you for success right away. We're making college accessible by breaking down barriers and offering more choices. We're making college approachable with faculty who understand where you're coming from and help you get where you're going. At Penn West, we're making college valuable again for people just like you. Learn more at pennwest.edu.
If you're thinking about retiring soon, be sure to tune into the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors, Saturdays at 1. Beth talks about the latest trends and headlines that could impact your retirement. Don't go into retirement unprepared. Listen every Saturday afternoon at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Firm offers insurance services. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will bring sun and some clouds. It'll be breezy and very warm with a record-breaking high of 81. Still dry this evening, but mild overnight with clouds and a shower or two, low 51. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, Halloween is here. I'll be dressing up as a radio host, and you can hear me from 2 to 6 today, right here on KDKA. Colin Dunlap.
Play that clip with that noise out of L.A., please. Ridiculous.
This has really gone sideways here in the last half hour. It's been going on for at least 30 minutes. The initial calls came in about 30 minutes ago. Reports of 400 to 500 people inside of this Nike flagship store. It's a Jordan flagship store in downtown LA at Broadway and 6. You can see 30 minutes later, there are still tons of shoes walking away. We're watching people going in and out. As you have mentioned, there have been a number of getaway vehicles waiting for the merchandise to walk out. They stuff the trunks, they get in the car, and they drive away. We've seen several cars do that. LAPD is aware of this. They appear to be understaffed, or not understaffed, but they just are prioritizing other things at the moment, I should say. They have come by in the last couple of minutes. We have spoken to them. They know about what's going on here. Just a couple of minutes ago, 2 or 3 black and whites pulled up, took a look at what's going on, but they had to keep going to other police business. Unfortunately, this Nike store will be emptied out within the hour. You can see folks continuing to flow out of this store by the dozens with boxes and boxes of brand new pricey shoes, Mark.
And it's worth noting that for the vast majority of the stories that we've been covering, that's the black sedan that we saw earlier. I think Air 7, you were able to get the license plate from your vantage point, and we saw it, and I wrote it down and put it out on my Twitter or X account, on my X page. But
look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. It's sad to see.
Disgusting.
These are vastly different folks and a different element from the ones who were out celebrating the Dodger victory, who were out in the streets waving flags, dancing, jumping around, yelling and screaming and whooping it up, some of them lighting fireworks. This is something, this is a little different. These are people who've come out to take advantage of that celebration and the fact that so many police resources are directed toward dealing with the large crowds who have gathered in intersections around Southern California, around Los Angeles, and have decided to go ahead and hit this store. This, as you say, it's a Nike flagship store. There's somebody heading out. So, you know, we've seen this. The police are aware, and that's kind of what's happening here. We have seen other instances.
What the hell's going on, man? What is that? There's the video we're playing on the live stream shows up. It's like a car burning. There's a
city bus.
Bus burning. And the video of the Nike flag store is disgusting. And there are no cops, which is annoying as hell. And this crap that they're on another call. This is where we're at now in America with not enough cops. Every one of those thugs should be in jail. Every one. I can't wrap my arms around the idiocy here. Am I missing something? What happened last night? Huh? Oh, that's it. The Dodgers won the World Series. Oh, that makes sense. In what time zone does that make sense? In what world does that make sense? In what culture does that make sense? In what family does that make sense? Think about your life. No, really. Think about the Super Bowls. The Steelers won six. And I'm sitting there with my uncles and my grandparents and my father, my sisters and brothers, and my cousins. We'd have 40 of us. They won 7 damn Super Bowls in that era. And everybody was alive still. Not one friggin' time did anyone in that crowd say, hey, man, let's go rob a Nike store. Hey, man, let's go burn a bus. No, really. I remember the last time the Pirates won the World Series. I really do. We lived in Groovy Side. And we walked up to Walnut Street, which was happening. What was it, 79? No one was breaking into the stores. No one. When did America transition to this? What's the story? Who the hell says? And by the way, these folks are so casual about it. There are, if you're watching our stream, there are hundreds of people. What is the mindset of hundreds of people walking into a store and coming out with boxes of shoes that aren't theirs and thinking that's okay? No, really. Who's to blame? Who? And they're laughing about it. When did this happen? When did we decide this was okay? And why wouldn't L.A. have a riot squad there, arresting all these morons, to send a message that you can't get away with it? And if I'm Nike, and this is a flagship store, I'd shut it down and never open it again. Say it's on you. Screw you. Idiots. And according to all the reports I'm reading, this was all over the place. Bus set on fire. Stores burglarized, vandalized. People threw objects at police officers. Why is that? Why is that? Who the hell? What are you blaming the cops for now? It's unbelievable. Dozens of arrests. Why, though? What's the reason? And the crowds would not disperse. And the cops are outnumbered as hell. We live in a culture of mayhem. No wonder people talk about democratic cities. No wonder people want Trump. No, seriously. Even if you don't think he's a law and order guy, you know that they're not law and order in L.A. Even if you don't think Trump would help, you think, what the hell? We'll try anything. If you're a businessman in L.A. right now, when you want to shut down, well, my boy Michael, after 71 World Series, Pirates, we walked up to Walnut Street. He's one of my boys growing up. There was a couple having sex in front of the Encore. We used to go drinking there when we were teenagers. It's actually hilarious. We were pretty young, so we watched. Well, we didn't burn down the Encore. And the cops, what are they supposed to do? Take on thousands of people? To which I ask, if this is how we celebrate a World Series win, what are we going to do at Christmas? Huh? What are we going to do if they win the Super Bowl? Hey, Mommy, we're going out to steal a car. They won the Super Bowl. It's disgraceful.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
27 years in politics has changed Bob Casey. He's just not the same anymore. In Washington, Bob Casey voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports. And Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations against their beliefs. Letting men compete against our daughters? Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes? It's just not normal. But that's how liberal Casey is these days. Casey also voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits, too. Casey even voted for a bill that could raise out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors. Higher taxes on Social Security? Raising drug costs for seniors? Come on, Casey. It's just not right. Bob Casey's gone way too liberal for Pennsylvania. After 27 years, we need a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Kamala Harris gets that everyday costs are too high. She has real plans to tackle price gouging, cut taxes for middle-class families, and make life more affordable. Her opponent's plan?
Donald Trump plans to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax. On everyday products, it will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothing, a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. When everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher.
Kamala Harris, A better plan for lowering costs for a future we can afford. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, Paul Alexander for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, November is Veterans Month, the time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty veterans and their spouses by offering 15% off their entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is all about you. Celebrate Veterans Month with 15% off your Awaken 180 program, and as with all clients, receive free support for life. Do what I did and over 23,000 others have done. Take control with Awaken180weightloss.com.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. Kamala and Joe raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle, and their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024, Inc.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Like every other automaker, Ford made a big push into electric vehicles, even making an EV version of the nation's best-selling auto, the Ford F-150 pickup. Trouble is, no one wanted it. No one was buying them. Now, Ford will shut down the Michigan factory that produces that F-150 Lightning EV. Wall Street getting hammered today after a slight rise in inflation last month, and with Microsoft and Meta both posting disappointing outlooks. It's on all the spending on AI technology. Right now, the Dow is down 0.2%, the tech-heavy NASDAQ down 2.33%, and the S&P 500 down 1.5%. But first-time jobless claims fell to a lowest level since May last week. Southern states began to recover from those hurricanes. And Mango, that's a fast fashion retailer based in Spain, is replacing real live people in its advertising with AI-generated images. The clothes are real. The models, though, are fake. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You heard him talking about the EVs? It's actually fascinating what's happening. So, one of my boys owns, Richard Bazzi owns Schultz Ford, Gary Bowser. The Bowser family has all the Bowser dealerships, and they're all wonderful people. And I talked to them about the business. And so we had Bazzi on here, actually. Ford was offering this. They come into your house and they'll install this charging station. It could be $1,500 for free if you buy an EV. And no one wants to do it. A handful of people. It's fascinating. Gary Bowser. I asked them what kind of sales they have on cars. EVs. Because my son, it's funny how the younger kids all want electric cars. My son's only 14, but they all think that way. But we don't here. So let me give you an example. So I'm told that the big automakers got called into meetings this week. What is today? Thursday, so it would have been Monday. And they said that they want them to sell 35% of their cars electric by 2026. Oh man, the boss just came in. Spack's here. He just, because you know what he did? He finally acknowledged me for what I am, the king.
For your greatness?
the King's Club.
For your greatness.
Right, sir?
Do you know what the King's Club is, Marty? Do you recall?
Yes, I do,
If you
sir.
grow your ratings 10% from a previous quarter, you're in the King's Club.
So, actually, we're excited as hell about it, and none of it happens without SPAC. But I got to ask him a personal question. So what he does is he takes care of us, and how he does this, he has these luncheons. And so I look at everything and everyone, and he's the big boss. And I look down the table, and he has a bowl of chicken noodle soup, which you love, right?
Yeah, I love the chicken noodle soup at the Green Tree Inn. I mean,
Right.
It's special.
And so I'm watching him, and I see him put some crackers in there, which everybody does.
Most people put a few crackers in their chicken noodle soup.
Then, hold on, it gets better. So then he puts in more crackers.
That's right. Yeah, we're loading it up here.
Then this wonderful waitress, she's like, hey, can I have some more crackers? My man had crackers above the rim of the soup.
Yes. Let's visualize that, Marty. We go equal amount of noodles and crackers. So we almost have some type of stew that we're now eating, which is a mix between the crackers, the broth, and the noodles. It is fabulous.
But I'm about tradition, and so I have to think, because the light goes off, this had to happen when SPAC was a boy.
Little boy.
When did it happen and how? Because I love these stories.
At my grandmother's house.
Oh.
Yeah, at my grandmother's. Ever since I can remember, I used to eat, with my grandfather, used to eat soup filled with crackers, broken up crackers. And so it's been going on a long time.
Isn't this fascinating?
Yeah.
My grandfather used to cover the top of his soup in black pepper, and no one else did, and so now I do.
You do, yeah.
Isn't it amazing, the stuff that brands you as a man?
Yeah, from your family. How you what people say it's in my blood, and that's how the examples you're using. Those are things that are part of you, part of your fabric.
And that's why family's so important.
And you look at me like I'm crazy as I'm filling up the bowl of crackers. This didn't just start today. This has been going on a while.
I went home and he knows my wife very well. I was like, honey, SPAC is lean, but he eats like a fat boy.
I get that all the time, by the way. People say that to me like, how are you skinny? It's not possible. Look how much food you're eating.
The crackers were above the damn rim.
Oh, and it was great, too. And I do have to give them a shout-out over there at the Green Tree Inn. Because if everybody wants, they have great food. If everybody wants some great chicken noodle soup, stop in and get some.
Yeah, and they're very nice people. Thanks, boss.
And Marty, King's Club.
Appreciate it. Congrats. I do find it fascinating that the things that you learn from your grandparents. My grandmother was Italian, and I swear, let's just say you went to McDonald's for lunch, which, by the way, she hated fast food. No disrespect to McDonald's. You would go to her house, and she'd say, you wanted something to eat. And I'd say, Grandma, I just ate. She'd go, no, you got to have she'd bring out 2 chickens and pasta. And I remember that stuff to this day. And I'm not picking on him, but as soon as I saw him with that thing of crackers, I knew that had to come from Grandma or Grandpa, something when you're a kid. And it sticks to you to this day. And it's why when people give me grief, because I value my family so much, because I spend so much time with family and at work, the people that see me work the most are the people at work, and especially Patrick, God bless him, and the people at home. And the thing that you do at home is you influence. And it's why I value the family unit in America so much. And if there's one thing that we can point out for the breakdown in certain sectors of America, it's the disintegration of the family, because there's no way in hell, getting back to our topic of the looting in L.A., that those kids doing that, they learned that from somewhere. It just doesn't come into your head, let's go break some windows and steal because they won the World Series. This is what happens in a culture gone bad. This is why Americans right now want change, whether you want to hear this or not. Most Americans want change, and they want it now.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Oh, your fall favorites are on special at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Center cut boneless pork loin chops or roast. Buy one, get one of equal or lesser value for free. Heinz tomato ketchup, 32-ounce bottle, $2.99 each. And red or green seedless grapes are $1.29 a pound. Additional savings in our meat department. Farm-raised, fresh salmon fillets, $9.99 a pound. All-natural pork baby back ribs, $3.49 a pound. In our produce department, fresh pressed apple cider, 1 gallon jug, $5.99 each, and selected varieties of Eastern apples, 3-pound bag, $2.99 each. In our deli, selected varieties of butterball turkey breast, $6.99 a pound. In our bakery, a fall favorite, 10-inch pumpkin pies, $9 each. And this week, selected varieties of Chobani Flip or Creations yogurt, 4.5 to 5.3 ounce containers, 5 for $5.
All of your fall favorites on special now at Coons Market. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on CoonsMarket.com. Coons Market, a special place in your neighborhood.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 76 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. Outgoing Pittsburgh Police Chief Larry Scirotto denies he had a plan to come back to town, work a year for a bump in a pension, and then quit. In an exclusive interview with KDKA Radio's Marty Griffin, Scirotto says if that was the case, he would have done it May 10th, his one-year mark.
Cost me $87,000 on a down payment for a house. Cost me $18,000 to move my family from Texas to Pennsylvania. $100,000 right there. I lost an entire year's worth of basketball salary. It will take me 8 years to recover the amount of money that the pension's going to benefit.
Scirotto's partner is being transferred to Texas, and he plans to join him, saying he can officiate basketball games anywhere. One person is dead following a fatal crash involving a tanker truck and a car in Westmoreland County. Parts of Route 66 and 356 in Washington Township have been closed as police investigate the head-on accident. It happened around 10 a.m. Drivers are encouraged to avoid that area. Person killed in a head-on crash in Washington County Tuesday night has been identified. Tiffany Ryder of Uniontown was a front-seat passenger in a vehicle, hit another vehicle that crossed the center line on Old Route 71 in Fallowfield Township. The county coroner's office says the 36-year-old rider was not wearing a seatbelt. 5 others were injured in that accident. Halloween is one of the most dangerous holidays when it comes to drinking and driving. Sean Kelly, a spokesperson with the press secretary for the PA Liquor Control Board, says they might want to promote responsible alcohol consumption, especially in the presence of kids.
Kids are going to be on the streets tonight, especially with warmer weather. We want to make sure that the adults who are supposed to be responsible are acting as responsibly as possible and really take the opportunity to use this and talk to your kids about alcohol and what it is and why they shouldn't be drinking until they reach the legal age of consumption.
Kelly tells the Big K Morning Show they offer a party planning guide at their stores to help people figure out how much alcohol to serve at a party. We're talking about hitting a record high of 81 degrees on this Halloween, but today in Pittsburgh history, we remember there have been some other extremes. Pittsburgh Magazine's Christy Graver explains on the Big K Morning Show.
On October 31st, 1993, snow covered the ground for Halloween, which fell on a Sunday. I was a freshman in high school, like my daughter is now, but I went out for candy in McCandless with my dad and my little brother, and I was so bundled up that you could not tell that I was a teenage werewolf.
We had 6 inches of snow that day and a high temperature of 35 degrees. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 220 points. The NASDAQ down 417. The S&P 500 is down 78. KDK Sports, Dodgers win the World Series. They beat the Yankees 7-6 last night at Yankee Stadium. Dodgers closed out the series in 5 games. News brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your perfect new roof and a lifetime warranty, trust PJ.com. KDK Radio News Time is 1:03. Time to call Shenderovich, and Fishman. Why pay 40% when you can pay 25%? Call 888-98-TWINS. Mostly sunny and 76 degrees in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. In Pittsburgh, a cool day is on tap for Saturday with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 55. It'll be warmer Sunday with some sun followed by increasing clouds and a high of 65. Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a MyLowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on everyday essentials, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and quite warm this afternoon. High a record-breaking 81. Dry this evening, turning mostly cloudy with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Your 401k goes up and down. Fine when you're 40, not when you're 60. Find out how to protect your money on Expedition Retirement. Saturday night at 8, Sunday night at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The 50,000-watt Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
There's nothing more significant in our culture, in our town, in our country than protecting women and children and then doing anything we can to protect them. I have been in a significant number of scenarios in my career with women who lost loved ones, who were beaten to death. I have been in courtrooms where women were murdered in domestic violence situations. And unfortunately, folks, using this holiday as an example, where there's a lot of change, or a lot of partying, or a lot of stress, women get the hell beat out of them. And somehow, some way, we forget about how dangerous it is for women. And I cannot tell you how much I admire the groups like the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh, because they save lives every single day. And they're amazing, amazing people. We're going to talk about that and why this is so important. Nicole Molinaro, good morning. How are you?
Hi there, Marty. I'm great. How are you today?
Fantastic. Give folks an idea of how dangerous this domestic violence scenario is in our culture today.
Oh, absolutely. You know, first of all, it's important to understand that domestic violence is a pattern of power and control that's used in a relationship. It's not just a one-time event. And so, you know, so many relationships are impacted by domestic violence. 1 out of every 4 women and 1 out of every 7 to 10 men have experienced serious physical violence in a relationship. So this is an issue that, accounts for 15% of all violent crime in the United States and impacts, 10 million folks a day. So, yeah, we're talking about a huge, huge issue. Unfortunately, there are, as you just said, there definitely are situations that turn lethal, and those are typically the situations that we hear about in the news.
Yep.
However, there's people that are impacted by domestic violence every single day of their lives.
Well, let's use my life and my status as an example. I live in an insanely beautiful neighborhood with very successful people. What people think is that in this bucolic life, we live in a bubble. That is not true. We face the same stress, and women face the same violence in those homes, do they not?
Oh, absolutely. Domestic violence crosses all demographics, socioeconomic status, religion, age, ethnicity, race. It doesn't matter what your demographic is. You can experience domestic violence. It's a learned behavior, so people learn it primarily from their families, but it can be learned through other sources as well. And, that is learned throughout the country and across the globe in, a good portion of households. And so absolutely, it doesn't matter where you live, you can be experiencing domestic violence.
Nicole Molinaro with the amazing folks at the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh. You said something actually profound. It's amazing you should bring this up. This came up at the dinner table with my daughters the other night. They were astounded to know that a family, they knew one of their girlfriends, that their father was abusive to mom and the kids. And they were astounded to learn that dad grew up in an abusive environment. And they couldn't connect the dots that, Dad, how would someone who got abused want to abuse? And that is confounding for kids. And most people don't rationalize that, do they, Nicole?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's understandable to be confusing. When you grow up in a household that is abusive, if unfortunately this plays out along gender lines a lot of times, but if you are a boy, you have a higher chance of becoming somebody who uses abuse. If you're a girl, you have a higher chance of becoming a victim or a survivor in a relationship.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean that that's written in stone. There are so many people who grow up in abusive households who rewrite their own life script and who don't grow up to be abusive because they are, have looked at not just what happened to them and the trauma that happened to them in their household, but also what are the healthy tools for communication? How do you stay in a healthy relationship? How do you avoid getting into an abusive relationship? So there are absolutely, a lot of people who make a very intentional decision, and oftentimes with some sort of professional help, like a therapist, a support group, et cetera, who don't repeat the intergenerational patterns of abuse.
So let's be frank. So if I'm in a room of 50 people and let's say 25 are women, what you're saying in your number is that 6 or 7 of them were abused, right?
That sounds like the right math. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's an issue that, and Marty, all of us know somebody who has been in or is in an abusive relationship. And if you can't think of somebody in your life who is or that you know of, that just means that it unfortunately is still treated so very much as a private issue that it's happening. They just haven't told you.
That is so spot on. It's that shame. And here's the other thing I hear. Well, why is she with him then? Why didn't she just leave him? Right, Nicole? You hear that every day, do you not?
Well, we absolutely do. And we like to ask the question instead of why does the abuser abuse? Because that is the person who is, engaging in unhealthy behaviors and abusive behaviors and oftentimes illegal behaviors. So although, I will also say, though, since you asked the question, said so many people do ask the question, survivors, men or women, in abusive relationships stay in those relationships for a huge variety of very valid reasons. The top 2 reasons are fear and love. So if you are afraid, if your partner has told you how they'll kill you and where they'll bury your body, that is a very difficult relationship to leave without some sort of safety planning.
And by the way, that happens. What you just said, that happens.
Right. Oh, absolutely it does. It's unfortunately more common than we know. There doesn't even have to be physical abuse to be an abusive relationship. The threats and the intimidation can be as destructive as physical violence is. And, you know, the other very valid reason that somebody stays in a relationship is oftentimes love and hope that the person will change. They don't want to leave the person. They want for the abuse to be gone. They want for that person that they fell in love with to be the person that they fell in love with again, and not the person who is engaging in these behaviors. You know, and unfortunately, the cycle of abuse and the pattern that we see over and over again is that the person who uses abuse in the relationship.
What happened? We lost her. We lost her. All right, let's take a break. As she calls back, I got to ask a couple more questions to ask her this important stuff.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Just a few of the reasons why CCAC rocks. Listen to this. The degrees. Business management, criminal justice, culinary arts, graphics communications, film technology, mechatronics technology, medical insurance specialists, cybersecurity, software development, nursing, I'm serious, facilities maintenance technology, heating and air conditioning technology, welding, just a few of the degrees. And you leave school with no debt. CCAC rocks.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Thursday at 2:37 p.m. for your weekly Medicare update with Lisa Lauro from Secure Money Health. Lisa will provide you information on everything related to Medicare and how to prepare for it. Brought to you by Secure Money Health.
So I have taken family and friends personally to the offices of John Perry at Rosen and Perry. Why? Well, with medical malpractice cases, they have doctors on staff to answer your questions. They have some of the biggest, this is a fact, settlements in the history of this region. Fact. They care, man. They care big time. John Perry at Rosen and Perry, one of the best attorneys in America. 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Rosen and Perry.
Real quick, raise your hand if you want to lose an additional 4 bands a year. Go ahead and put your hands up. Put your hands up. You voted for Kamala Harris. Oh, okay. My fault. Good, because I don't think people understand that voting for Trump means you will lose an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. If Trump is elected, he plans to add a 60% tariff on all imports from China. Anything in your house that says made in China, take the price that you paid for and add 60%. He plans to add a 20% tariff on all imports coming from every other country. With Kamala Harris's opportunity economy, she's not hitting you with the sales tax of doom. She's providing tax cuts to the middle and working class, so that means you will save an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Plus the $25,000 she's literally handing to new homebuyers. Like, you know who to vote for in this November's election. It's Kamala Harris. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. Kamala and Joe raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle. And their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024, Inc.
2D Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders, is a family business that I truly admire. 2D culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. 2D Mechanical Systems. They're the people you want working in your home.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I wasn't finished with Nicole because this is such important information. The Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh, and she was cut off. Nicole Molinaro, who's with us. I got a couple more questions.
I am back. So sorry about that,
No,
Marty.
not your fault. Who cares? What's relevant is this information is so important. So, and I think people would be surprised to hear this, but historically, on days when you think people would be at a high, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, there's a lot of stress, and then you have a lot of incidents on days like this. Do you not? Tell us why.
Yeah, well, so it's interesting because depending on the holiday, when there's a lot of family and friends around, we actually see things get a little quieter. But then after the holidays, so after, for instance, the Christmas and New Year holidays, when family has gone home, when kids are back at college or whatever the case is, we definitely see a lot more calls. So it's not to say that the abuse isn't happening, but it's a lot less visible. And also, when there's holidays, a lot of times victims or survivors are not able to call in for any sort of support or safety planning or anything because the family's all together. So, but yes, I will address your other point though, Marty. Even though drinking, just like mental health problems, doesn't cause abuse, right. They're completely separate issues. When there is drinking or drugging or, any sort of substance use or mental health problems, it can absolutely make a situation more volatile and more dangerous. So, yeah, any sort of time when there's heavy drinking or, again, heavy substance abuse can lead to more dangerous situations for victims, even though I can't stress enough, it's not because of the drinking or the drugging.
I got to tell some anecdotal stuff because I worked in Los Angeles and Dallas, and this actually happened to me. I had talk shows, and I was on television in both markets, and I would have conversations like this and or do reports. And every single time after the reports, I was called or texted or emailed by the wives of celebrities or models or athletes' wives, stunningly beautiful, insanely successful women from so-called flawless families who pretty much said, I'm getting the hell beat out of me. How do I get help? My point is, for folks who think, this doesn't matter to me, it's just poor folks, that is the biggest line of crap on earth, is it not?
Right. Oh, it absolutely is the biggest crap line in the world. However, it's not true, is what I'm trying to say. Domestic violence really can impact anyone. And it really, again, doesn't matter your socioeconomic status or really any other demographic. It can impact anybody. And, abusive relationships so often start off with the abuser really trying to kind of reel in the partner and the victim, and then engaging in this, pattern of power and control with the person. And oftentimes it's not obvious at first. There may be red flags, there may not be big red flags, but, we do know that relationships that move very quickly, that can be a red flag. We know, we do know a lot of the different red flags. If somebody shows that they're controlling, that is a big red flag. If you have a conflict, even at the beginning of a relationship, and you find that you're fearful of the other person during this conflict, that really can be a red flag. So we know that there's lots of different red flags that have been identified. But that doesn't mean that once you start to fall in love, it's easy to see those, right? It's very difficult to see those red flags oftentimes because you are falling for somebody. And I think we've all, anybody who's been in love understands that it is, it can be an all-consuming process. You can, see things through rose-colored glasses, and those red flags may not look exactly red. Yeah.
Hey, generally, when this is on the air, there's people listening that are being abused and are scared to death and don't know what to do. What should they do immediately? What can they do?
So Marty, I love that question because, first of all, this is one of the reasons that we really like to talk to media anytime we can, because you reach out to folks who are experiencing domestic violence. And it's really important for folks to know they are not alone. There is help. There is hope. They can do a couple of things. They can call their local domestic violence program. You know, we're the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh. Our hotline 24/7 is 412-687-8005. We also have text and chat options. But they can do that with us, or they can call their local domestic violence program, because I know that your listening area extends beyond the Pittsburgh area. They could also download our Bright Sky app. And I'll repeat that. It's called Bright Sky. And it's an app and website for anybody who's experiencing domestic violence, or anybody who cares about somebody experiencing domestic violence, where you can learn what it is, where you can look at assessments, where you can look at danger factors, where you can look at videos about domestic violence, and, of course, how to get help. And there's resources across the country on how to get help. And we're so proud of this app and website, because Pittsburgh, Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh, launched it last March for the whole country. So we're really happy that we've gotten this, new tool out to folks who are, again, either experiencing domestic violence or who love someone who is.
Wow. Last year, more than 10 million people victims of domestic violence, an average of 24 people a minute, victims of rape, physical violence, stalking of an intimate partner, more than 12 million women. Jesus, that's a scary number. It's one of these things that it's almost like when someone gets really sick and they don't want to talk about it. Don't tell anyone I have cancer. This is like that, is it not? Right?
Well, it is. And, unfortunately, domestic violence was considered to be private for so long. Yeah. It happens behind closed doors. People don't talk about what happens in the family so often if it's something that's not positive. But this domestic violence has been declared as a public health epidemic. And the very first word of that is public. So we know now it is nothing to be ashamed of if you are experiencing domestic violence, and there are domestic violence programs across the county, the state, and the country, and the globe to really help those who are experiencing domestic violence, because this isn't something that you have to go through alone. There are people who understand, trained professionals who can offer support and a range of services, not just shelter. So many folks that I've talked to said, will say, well, I'm in an abusive relationship, but I can't leave. I can't go. I don't want to go into shelter. And shelter only is needed for kind of a small amount of really dangerous, lethal situations. I mean, just to give an example of that, Marty, Women's Center and Shelter serve 7,500 individuals a year, and only 4% actually need our shelter. Everybody else can receive the services of our emotional support, of our support groups, of our counselors, of our specialized programs, all of the different services. Legal advocacy is a huge service that we offer. So if you are at home listening and thinking, I really do want to take the next step, the next step doesn't have to be to leave, right? The next step may be to start to learn and to start to talk about safety planning and to figure out what your next move is. If you call a domestic violence program, that does not mean that we're going to say, hey, you need to get out of that relationship right now. That's actually the exact opposite of what we do. We do what's called empowerment counseling, and it's helping the person who calls to figure out where they want to go next. Meaning go just in life, not as in moving, but just what do they want for their next move to be? What are their overall goals, and how can we help and empower them to get there? So, that's, I think, what keeps a lot of people from leaving an abusive relationship is that it feels so huge. And, of course, it can be, but if you break that down into manageable pieces and reach out for support and safety planning, it can be an absolutely manageable process, because nobody deserves to be abused.
Nicole, you're amazing, and so is the shelter and what you do, the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh. Superstars. You literally save lives. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Marty. Thanks again.
We got to care, and it's a phone call away, literally. They're there to help.
paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan silver bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan silver dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan silver dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3871.
Allegheny County is looking for poll workers to work the election November 5th. Poll workers earn $150 to $175 for the day, plus paid training. For more information and to apply, visit AlleghenyVotes.com. That's AlleghenyVotes.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 78 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. With his time as Pittsburgh Police Chief coming to an end, Larry Scirotto says he also plans to leave town.
My partner gets promoted. They are sending us and him out of state. What are we going to do? Are we going to live apart for the next year?
No.
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 Going to follow his dreams as well. He followed me here.
We're Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to follow his dreams to pursue his career goals. And I can live anywhere as an official.
In an exclusive interview with Marty Griffin, Scirotto said he and Mayor Gainey had a gentleman's agreement that amounted to an incentive-based contract that if he helped to bring down violent crime and to bolster the force, he could return to officiating college basketball games. The nation's first electric vehicle apprenticeship program had its ribbon-cutting ceremony today at CCAC West Hills campus. And KDKA Radio's Tamira Rush was there and has the details.
Members of the Biden-Harris administration joined state and local leaders today to discuss the apprenticeship program for EV automotive technicians. Acting Secretary of Labor Julie Su tells me the program is groundbreaking and a testament to the power of innovation, equity, and partnership.
These kinds of programs don't come to life on their own. They come to life because the federal government, the state, the county, and the city are all working hand in hand. For a long time, opportunities have not been widely shared by all. And so in order to reverse that, we have to be intentional and we have to work in partnership. And that's what's happening here.
The apprenticeship program will include related technical course instruction and full-time paid on-the-job training with dealerships, independent garages, or other related businesses. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
Halloween has turned into one of the biggest party nights in the United States. Sean Kelly from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board tells the Big K Morning Show it's right up there now with New Year's Eve in terms of drunk driving accidents nationwide.
There are holidays like Halloween, you have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, New Year's, obviously. And as people get together and they start drinking, sometimes there's this tendency to overserve or overconsume, and that leads to some issues out on the roads, and that leads to some issues out in public as well.
Says all Pennsylvania state liquor stores offer a party planning guide to help people determine the appropriate amount of alcohol to purchase for their party. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 195 points, and NASDAQ down 451. The S&P 500 is down 87. KDK Radio News Time, 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, and the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Look, Julian Gray and I became good friends when my parents passed. And in those difficult times, I'll tell you what he did. He got us through it. Seriously, with estate planning, unbelievable. With managing the taxes, unbelievable. With a will, unbelievable. This is what they do, folks. They're certified elder law attorneys, and they are committed to helping you with legal issues and protecting your family. Julian Gray is the best I've ever known. I have gone in his office in a frenzy, worried about taxes, about the estate, about how to manage money, about how to manage my future. And Julian Gray and his people answer those questions. They're the best going. GrayOuterLaw.com, GrayOuterLaw.com, 412-458-6000, 412-458-6000. The best.
Are you looking to make a difference in your community? CASA of Westmoreland is looking for dedicated volunteers to advocate for children in foster care. Our court-appointed special advocates give a voice to abused, neglected kids, giving them a brighter future. Join us on our mission to help children all over Westmoreland County. Visit casaofwestmoreland.org to find out how you can help. That's casaofwestmoreland.org. Become a hero for a child in need.
So every time I go into the offices of Physical, that's F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L in Monroeville, where I get physical therapy, to help my balance, I see a room full of patients waiting that heard how much it's helped me on this talk show. And it's so rewarding. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Look, I had chemo and radiation, jacked up my balance. It doesn't anymore. Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. It works.
Ooh, should we get an app?
Appetizer? Nah, not for me. Trying to save some money, you know?
You know what you need? The Upside app. Gives you cash back on essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. You could earn up to $10 on every restaurant meal.
Upside? What's the catch?
No catch. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back at places like Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Arby's.
Okay, now that's the app I'm getting.
Download the Upside app and get a 10% bonus on your first restaurant purchase. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Breezy and very warm this afternoon. We'll have sun and some clouds with a record-breaking high of 81. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, mild with a shower or two, low 51. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, so it's Halloween, duh. Now, I got scoop at dinner last night. Now, my daughter Sophia, who's at Pitt in a sorority, Tri-Delt, and I heard she has a significant number of costumes, which is cool because I love Halloween and so does my family. But I had to grab her. Good morning, honey. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How many Halloween costumes do you have?
I have 5.
5?
Yeah, 5.
Is that just for tonight?
Oh, no. Different one every night. So
Different?
Yes.
For what? Different parties?
Yeah. Yep. Different stuff.
That's
Yep.
hilarious. And what are they, honey?
One is Magic Mike.
Oh, my gosh, that's funny.
Panther, an astronaut, and I'm being Gru from Minions. So, yeah.
Oh. You have 5?
Yeah, 5.
How does a girl dress like Magic Mike?
Literally like a hat, a tie, like jeans, a wife beater shirt. That's
And And is
Our whole suite's doing it.
the whole suite? So how many girls?
Like 12.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
And when are the parties? I don't know any of this stuff. I get it from my wife. When are the parties?
Like tonight, tomorrow, at night, yeah.
Nice. And when, I'm not trying to be a jerk, will you change between parties, or how's this going to work?
Well, there's just like for each day, I'll wear a different one.
So you have 5 days of Halloween parties.
Yeah, because last weekend they counted as Halloween.
That's hysterical.
Yes. So
All right,
that's
honey.
how we got.
So 5 parties, 5 days, and all the girls wearing the same thing?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, tonight. Yeah, but
All right.
not always.
Well, now that you did this, you got to send me pictures, all right?
I will.
Go Pitt.
Yep.
All right, sweetheart.
All right.
Thank
bye.
you, honey. How about that? That's why you go to school, man. By the way, in case you're thinking, oh, dude, Marty Griffin's kid, all she does is party. She has a 3.7 average. Uh-huh. Just like her dad. Huh. All right. I love that. I think it's cool. I think it's wonderful that she's happy at college. Just like there's a work-life balance, in college there's an academic party balance. You have to have fun or you're not going to enjoy it. Conversely, it's actually fascinating. My daughter Chloe, her boyfriend is at Carnegie Mellon, in computer science. He's a very smart young man. And I saw him, we don't see him much because all he does is study. That program, I wouldn't last 2 hours. That program, computer science, he will have 4 hours of homework for one class every day. I'm serious. It's that difficult. But Sophia's found a balance of academics and fun in a sorority at Pitt and has a 3.7 average, and if she goes to 5 parties, God bless her. Knock herself out. Let's play as much of this Larry interview that we can because I think it's important. The police chief, Larry Scirotto. Last day. Go ahead. Kind of shocked a lot of people when you up and quit, as they say. Were you shocked that you made that decision, or you kind of felt enough is enough, I got to go?
You know, I didn't come to that conclusion lightly. There are so many aspects that went into the final decision, and you start talking or thinking about, like, what this profession takes from us. I challenge our officers all the time to have and love something outside of policing because it takes from you physically, it takes from you emotionally, it takes from you mentally. But more importantly, it starts to take you from your family. And that's what this last round of scrutiny started to cause. It started to impact my family. And that's the thing that I couldn't allow to continue to occur.
People just, well, you know the criticism that you played us, and I mean us by the citizens. And this is the theory, and this comes from counsel. This isn't something new or news to you. I'm not sandbagging you here. The theory is that you were never going to quit reffing. The theory is that you and Gainey cut a deal that once you got your feet set here again, that you'd start reffing again. And that's what happened, and that's that. Is that fair?
The reality of it is, like, we have, like, anything. So you have incentive-based contracts. A lot of CEOs do. Some chiefs of police do. But they usually compensate you financially. My incentive-based contract was if we had a responsible approach to gun violence, if we had a responsible approach to community policing, if we had a responsible approach to recruiting and hiring. November's class is going to start November 4th, 44 officers in it.
Nice.
One of the largest classes we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Diverse, right? If we had responsible approaches to those things that were a challenge for us prior to me getting here, that my incentive was that I could go back to officiating.
Oh, okay. So in English, you set up a template of success. And so the template exists that if you set these watermarks for different things, right?
Right.
That you could go back to reffing.
And if I stunk at my job as the police chief, then refereeing was not an option. So that's exactly what the conversation was in front of council when Councilman Calco suggested that they were lied to. If I was bad at my job, I wasn't going back to officiating, period. Couldn't happen. But if I met these benchmarks, then that's my incentive. The incentive is to go and be able to do something I love. We met and exceeded every one of those benchmarks. And because of that, Mayor Gainey gave me the latitude and opportunity to go back.
But and I know you pretty well, and I know this town pretty well, and I know those council members pretty well, and I know the mayor pretty well. I never heard of that plan, that incentive-based plan. In other words, this is like a side deal between you and the mayor, and if I'm characterizing it unfairly.
I don't call it, it's just a conversation, right? It's
in other words, this wasn't told to the public.
No, it was. What are you going to say? If my chief stinks, then none of this is true. It's a conversation in a man to a man.
Right.
And it's an agreement between the mayor and myself.
I see.
Man to man. If you do these things, then we will revisit your officiating career. Right. And we did those things, and we did them better than expectations. And because of that, then I got the opportunity to revisit officiating.
So when people say you lied, when counsel says you lied, did you lie?
I answered the question correct, right? And that was correct in that moment, right? And in that, I don't think anybody that knows me would ever think that I would walk away from officiating for life. It gave me energy, it gave me focus, it gave me a goal to achieve for this bureau, for this city, for our community. And when we did that, then that was my reward.
Did you feel like you let the city down?
Absolutely not.
You don't?
Absolutely not.
Are you kind of, because I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of blown away by the criticism of you now. You went from, I swear, overnight you went from Jesus to Judas. Yeah. Overnight. You hate that.
How quick does the mighty fall, or how quick does perspective change in that, because now there's a decision that people aren't at peace with.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, I've got to be at peace with the decisions that I make, and I'm at peace with the work and the accomplishments that the Bureau has made over the last 18 months, and I can walk away from here not satisfied, because there's always work to do, but assured that the work that I started, the work that we have started together, will continue forward.
All right, you know what's interesting about Larry Scirotto? When this first happened, I appreciate him doing it. I appreciate him standing. The whole thing's up on my X page and on our Facebook page, and it's fascinating. And I respect and admire him for doing it.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
If you have COPD, here are some reasons to go see your pulmonologist again. 1, those flare-ups you keep having, they have the chance to cause permanent lung damage. 2, we now know a certain type of inflammation can cause flare-ups for some people. And 3,
when can I see Grandma?
Need more reasons? Visit www.livewithcopd.com.
You want the perfect Saturday night, Friday night, whatever night? Seriously. Oakmont. With the Oakmont Restaurant King, JK. 2 spots. Started out Saturday night at Vinny's. Insane appetizers, drinks. Right next door, Michael A's for dinner. Unbelievable handmade, homemade Italian food. Vinny's, Michael A's, Oakmont. Check it out. It rocks.
We all want more. More laughs. More hangouts. More, this is the best takeout ever. Excuse me. But if you're 75 or older or 60 or older with certain health conditions, you've also got more risk of getting seriously sick from RSV. But an RSV vaccine lowers your risk, so you can keep doing more of the stuff you love.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Risk less. Do more. Get started at vaccines.gov.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Has your home or business been damaged by fire, water, or storm? Even when dealing with insurance, you have a choice who repairs and cleans up the mess. Call Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh.
The man, the yellow van, call Service Master.
Kamala Harris gets that everyday costs are too high. She has real plans to tackle price gouging, cut taxes for middle-class families, and make life more affordable. Her opponent's plan?
Donald Trump plans to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax. On everyday products, it will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothing, a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. When everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher.
Kamala Harris. A better plan for lowering costs for a future we can afford. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Have you ever thought about joining a credit union? There are plenty of great benefits and perks. Hi, it's Dan Zangrilli. Some think that you have to be part of a club or know someone to get in. Not the case. At Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, you simply need to live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Butler, or Beaver counties, and you're eligible to join for just $5. Unlock the great rewards of a credit union. Shape your future with Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA. Visit AllegiantFCU.org to get started today.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. Kamala and Joe raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle, and their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024, Inc.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Aurora Innovation's commercial launch of driverless trucks has been delayed to 2025, but the company is not pumping the brakes. Representatives for the company have repeatedly said that it expects to have completely driverless vehicles on the road by the end of this year. But along unveiling its third quarter earnings to investors, Aurora announced it now expects to launch the technology commercially in April of 2025. That launch is still expected to be between Dallas and Houston. Also, O'Hara-based Howard Hanna Real Estate Services is extending its sales territory further westward in Ohio and south into South Carolina with 2 new acquisitions. The company announced what it described as 2 significant mergers that include Big Hill Realty, a firm based in Dayton in southwestern Ohio, and the Alliance Group Realty, based in the South Carolina beachfront community of Hilton Head. While the company provided no specifics on the size of the Dayton firm, the Alliance Group Realty has grown to a staff of more than 70 agents and generated more than $140 million in sales last year, according to the announcement. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Man, Colin just opened the blinds. Man, it is awesome out there, bro.
Enjoy it now.
People are calling me.
Yeah, who's calling you?
It's a political call. That means some
I got one right when I was on the air. It was perfect because I was talking about it at the time. And the timing was spot on, absolutely perfect. And
I don't get a lot of them.
I get a lot of texts, and then you have to type stop. I get a ton of them, actually. From a bunch of different people.
I ignore them.
Well, then you have to get it at least once, though, to ignore it. That's the thing. So, but the mailing, the direct mail, I've never seen anything like it. I probably average about 11 a day.
Oh, yeah. I've thrown away at least 200.
And I'm to the point where I don't even look at it.
Same.
It goes straight in the recycle. I did a whole segment on this yesterday about, I don't know about the return on investment or whatever, but I find it impossible to believe.
All right, so
that it's effective.
I asked this question. We met some contractors who get great response from mailers. I asked some politicians. They said they don't know, but they just pay for them because everybody else does.
Contractors are. Here's the thing. They don't inundate you though. They'll do it once in a while. I mean, honestly, I'm getting 11 a day, 12 a day from.
Can you imagine the money being spent?
No, I can't. And then people say this, and I don't know if this is true or not, but could you imagine if they allocated the money to other causes, to things that could help other people or do other things? I don't know. It ain't my money, so it's theirs. They can do what they want. But it just seems a weird appropriation of funds.
I won't miss it.
No.
I ignore the TV ads. They have no impact.
I can't wait till Tuesday morning because I'll go early to the polling place, and I'm interested to see how many, what number in line I am.
Yeah, Patrick was just going through the numbers because people are saying we could have a record turnout, but I never know.
I go early. I like to go early. I'll be there. My polling place, I've said this before, the average age is about 106 at my polling place. And I enjoy it. I like the camaraderie. I like being around the people. I like seeing those old timers that have like a warship on their baseball cap.
Yep.
It means they were on it or some battle, and it's really important to them. So I go in and do that. Although I like the old booths that have a lever as opposed to a like a button, like a touchscreen button. I like the old lever, and then you heard, when you pulled the final one to cast your vote.
Yeah.
I like the old voting machines. It just felt more mechanized, like kind of more back in the day.
It is.
You don't go behind a curtain anymore.
No.
It's like a little
box,
a cardboard box.
You stand there.
I don't mind.
It is what it is.
Colin Dunlap is next.
The KDKA mobile news fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington, Wexford, and Uniontown. Visit Shorkey Kia today. Go between the hash marks and get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Dave & Buster's. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's powered by Bowser Chevrolet and brought to you by Diulis Law. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future.